running it?
I have no idea.
I never thought that would end. Whew. Man. Don't worry, Elder Bear and Bev are probably not going to stop by again. They get enough time over on Flats' channel. So I actually went and looked up some more videos on celestial navigation. I found one on the celestial sphere, which looked really cool. I thought I would share it and we'll go over it. I thought it was a good idea. And what is a celestial sphere? I've heard it described several different ways, and there's so many different ways to describe it. There's a celestial navigation way, and then there's an ether way. I've heard it described, and basically that's what they derive all their measurements in the geometry in astronomy. So, but other than that, I just think it is what it is. I don't think it's a sphere necessarily, but this video certainly does describe it that way. Might as well hit play. Let's see what it looks like. Make sure I got the right one. Yep. This is a Marine Insight. If you get the logo, clever, ain't it? For seafarers, for those people that go to sea. It's a whiteboard tutorial.
In the topic today that I'm going to take, I'm taking one of such topic which is used very commonly in our field, and that is celestial sphere. Now, I'm going to explain you first what actually I have drawn over here. This interior circle which I have drawn is the Earth's sphere, and the exterior one is the obviously celestial sphere. Now,
first mistake: the Earth is not a sphere, but we have to go with it.
This celestial sphere is being obtained by the expansion or surface expansion of the Earth sphere itself. Hence, there are a lot of similarities between these two. For example, the North Pole on the Earth sphere becomes the North Celestial Pole here. The South Pole's extension becomes the South Celestial Pole. The equator's expansion becomes the equinoctial. As I told, this surface expansion of the Earth.
Okay, the surface expansion of the Earth. That's different. But I mean, this is a mainstream video. I don't think you're going to find one that's a tutorial on it. But this looks like it's going to be just this guy here describing a celestial sphere based on what? The Earth sphere? Yeah. I don't think this is going to help too much, like in real life. So I think I'm going to find something different. There were a few more videos that I've watched before on this. Let's see if I can find one. They actually just show you mapping at sea. And it's not really that confusing necessarily. Let's see if I can see the one I actually was looking at. Celestial Navigation, Britannica.com. They're still using the same radius to get an elevation, which you don't need in real life. Let's see if I got another one in here. They're all going to do exactly the same thing in any of these YouTube tutorials. Here's a practical nav station. Let's see what this looks like. It's not produced by a big company neither. I'm going to try it out. Let's see what they got. It looks like he's got some old time stuff in here. I'm going to try that. Looks pretty practical. But he's still using the same spherical coordinate system that they use. There's like some old timers there.
Here at the nav station, our goal is to get you confident enough to head out in the ocean, turn off your GPS, and get to where you're going using celestial navigation. We gave you a quick introduction to celestial, the 30,000 foot view in the last episode. There's some terms we brought to the table, a few concepts, and now we're going to dive in a little deeper on all of those. Now, we'll start off with another diagram, and we'll draw these from time to time, all using the same basic principles. But in this one, we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to imagine that we are on the earth here, suspended.
No, you're not. You're inside that circle and you're looking up at the sky. But yeah, we got you.
Inside of a giant beach ball. That beach ball is out here and is called the celestial sphere. And on that beach ball, which is black on the inside, so we can see all the bodies, are the sun, the stars, the moon, and the planets. And they're all stuck up here on this beach ball. Now, for the concept that we're talking about, they're all equidistant from the center of the earth. Of course, we know that's not true. The sun is close, the moon is even closer, and the planets are somewhere in between, and the stars are
Well, the sun and the moon are close, but the stars aren't somewhere in between either. But yeah, we got the gist of what they're actually doing.
way far away. But for the purposes of our
Way far
explanation
away.
and the theory of modern celestial navigation, they're all the same distance from us, and they appear to move across the sky together. We know that that's not the case either. We know that we're revolving around the sun, and the sun is part of the universe, which revolves through the heavens with the stars out there far, far away.
I wonder
But
if we got any
again,
evidence for
we
that.
simplify the explanation here to make the system work for
Really?
us in celestial navigation and in a lot of other sciences as well.
Like in real life. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, dude. Just get to the point and show us how you actually do it. No explanations
So the
needed.
first thing we do, remember in the previous episode we talked about our little spot on the surface of the earth. And we'll put our little X there down on our earth right here. And that X is called initially anyways, our dead reckoning position. And that's described in terms of latitude and longitude. Now, the celestial sphere is up there with everything placed upon it. And what we do with our coordinate systems for latitude and longitude is we project that out to the celestial sphere. So we take the equator and we project that out to the celestial sphere, and it becomes the celestial equator. We take the prime meridian, the Greenwich meridian, and we project that out to the celestial sphere, and it becomes the Greenwich meridian, the celestial Greenwich meridian, if you will, but we'll just call it the Greenwich meridian from now on. And we take the two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole, and we project them out to the celestial sphere. So we end up with the North Celestial Pole and the South Celestial Pole. What that does for us is it takes the coordinate system that we use on Earth and it puts it up on the celestial sphere where we can use it up there as well. Because these are spheres, and as you expand a sphere out, the same coordinate system, the same measurements apply as you expand out. Now, the other thing we did in the previous episode was we imagined a sun, and we'll use the sun here because the situation is the same no matter what celestial body you're working with, more or less. So we'll say the sun is up here on the surface of the celestial sphere somewhere, and we'll place it right here.
Got it.
And we'll turn it into a little sun. And that sun, we draw that straight line with our flashlight beam from the center of the sun to the center of the earth. And at some point, it pierces the crust of the earth. And that is called our geographic position. And we just said that that is described as declination. And
So you bring the line down to the ground.
GHA
Gotcha.
or Greenwich
So far.
hour angle. So just like we projected the coordinate system for our terrestrial position, our DR, out to the celestial sphere, we can also project the measurement system we use for the body, in this case the sun, and the geographic position, we can project that out.
He almost
as well.
said it. He almost said
So
ground
both
position.
coordinate systems work in either location, and they're identical to each other, although the
He's doing quite a
distances
dance.
are much bigger. The angular distances are the same. So when we are concerned with celestial navigation, we talked about this at the very end of the episode last time. We're concerned with the celestial triangle, which is drawn up here in the celestial sphere using the 3 points, the north celestial pole in this case, and it works the same way in either pole, the dead reckoning position, which is our terrestrial position, and the sun, or the geographic position. So how do we get us, our DR position, up on the celestial sphere? We've got the sun here with its geographic position, so those are in both places.
Let's
So
go
what we
vertical.
do is we take a line from the center of the Earth directly through our body and out our head until it hits the celestial sphere. And that is called our zenith position.
All right. I don't know if it's
And
going to the
that
center,
zenith
but you
position
gotcha.
is directly over our head, and wherever we move, our zenith position moves with us. And that zenith position is described just like the DR in terms of latitude and longitude. So we have two positions here on the celestial sphere, both of which we have a coordinate system to measure. For the zenith, we're using latitude and longitude just like we would down on Earth. And any position on Earth we can describe on the celestial sphere in terms of its latitude and longitude, which will come into play later on. Now, the sun has its corresponding geographic position, and up here on the celestial sphere, we're going to describe the sun in terms of its declination.
So when you're looking for the sun, how do you find its location? By what time it is? That's why they use the Greenwich, right? Yeah. So all the clocks are set at that time on that latitude where it is at that time. So it gives you the position in the sky to where the sun is. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I like it. You can take the ball stuff out, but it still works the same.
Declination and its GHA. Declination is nothing more, is like latitude, describing the distance north or south of the equator. Now, it's actually measuring, just like latitude, an angle from the center of the Earth out to the crust, and that's where your declination or your latitude would be. But for the purposes of our explanation, we'll just always say that it's describing how far north or south of the equator you are. That is latitude and declination.
So it has nothing to do with the
Now,
center
for
of the Earth.
longitude,
Okay.
we
Nice.
have a measurement from the Greenwich meridian over to the meridian of the body. And similarly, out here in the celestial sphere, we measure from the Greenwich meridian over to the meridian of the zenith position. And for GHA, we're going to measure from Greenwich. And just an aside, in the hour angle descriptions, hour angles are always a measurement of an angle or from one meridian to another. And in this case, G, Greenwich, refers to where we start measuring. And some hour angles are always measured to the west, and some hour angles are measured to the east, and some get measured in different directions depending. So in this case, we've got...
Okay. My question is, why does that depend on it? If the sun's in an exact location at that time of the day, that's what should matter, not east or west of it. That's what you're going to work with. It's good to know where it is in its circuit so you can find the east or west of it. But to draw that line is how they set the time on it, the Greenwich line. Yeah, makes sense.
got a GHA from Greenwich over to the body, and we can do the same thing down on Earth from Greenwich over to the geographic position of the body. So we've got our 4 measurements here. We can measure latitude and longitude. We can measure declination and GHA. So let's draw those in and see what we have. Now, latitude measures from the equator up to in this case, the zenith, just like it would on Earth, be measuring the distance north of the equator. So the remainder there is this line here. This is latitude. And this distance here, the whole distance from the equator to the North Pole is 90 degrees. So this distance is 90 minus the latitude, or something called co-latitude. The complement of latitude, 90 degrees minus the latitude, and you're left with this.
That's just the distance from the north.
Over here for the
their position.
sun,
Yeah, nice.
we have our declination. And similarly, 90 degrees from the equator to the North Pole of declination, we have this distance of declination. We take the remainder, 90 minus the dec, and we have co-declination. You can see what's starting to happen here. We've got a triangle that we're starting to draw. How about longitude? Well, longitude is measured east or west, depending on what hemisphere you're in. We're going to measure west from Greenwich over to our meridian that we're sitting on. And similarly, for the sun, the GHA is always measured to the west from Greenwich over to wherever the body is. So that becomes the GHA of the sun for this particular time. So what we have here is the beginnings of a triangle. Now, when we take a site, we essentially can take a site and turn into a triangle. Any site, any combination of body position, geographic position, and terrestrial position or zenith, that creates a triangle. And what we're missing from the triangle is the third leg here.
Okay,
So
where do you
when
get
we
the third
take
leg
the
from?
site, we're using what? The horizon. We're measuring how far above the horizon the body is. So let's draw in an imaginary horizon that, and we'll call this the celestial horizon. And that's just a projection from our position out to the horizon, out to the celestial sphere, just like we projected everything else out. And from the horizon up to our zenith is 90 degrees. And the sun, in this case, is somewhere in the middle there. So when we take a side of the sun, we're measuring the angle from the horizon up to the body. And the difference there, if the body is here, is this, which is, again, 90 degrees minus our what we're calling our altitude. And this becomes that distance. That's the complement of the altitude. We got the altitude, we have the complement of the altitude, and we're going to label that co-alt or co-altitude. So when we take a site, we create this triangle. It's comprised of where we are, the nearest pole, and in this case, the sun, or the geographic position of the sun. Now, that's well and good, except we're not doing that when we do our site reduction process. What we're doing is we have to get ourselves into the tables and onto the chart. So we take this position, this latitude, longitude.
That's what those tables are based on.
Our assumed position. And the assumed position does both of those things. It's a position that is included in the tables for which there is a triangle that is solved in the table.
Site reduction tables are just your limited vision. That's all they're doing. They're giving you a distance with it. So that's how they plot distances. It has nothing to do with it. The things are over the edge of a ball curve. It's just the sight. When you can lose sight of the object, can't see it forever. There's a lot of reasons why.
Tables. And the assumed position is also a position that's near enough to our dead reckoning position that we can put it on the chart as a reference point for our ultimate plotting exercise we're going to do down when we finish our site reduction process. Because we don't want to deal with a chart that is thousands of miles big, where you need to put something that's pretty close by. So the assumed position has a few rules, and we'll get into those in the next episode for its
We
creation.
got another episode. Nice.
It's in the book, and that's part of the rules, and it's also on the chart, which is again part of that process. So what we do when we take a site is we go into the tables with this assumed position and this other data, and we say, if we'd been standing at the assumed position at the exact time that the sun was located here, because that's the time we took our site, what would the triangle look like? That's the first question it's essentially what the book is answering for us.
I know what triangles look like.
And the tables are going to calculate this triangle based on the data that you show and the entering arguments. So what is it actually doing here? All right, remember back in, I don't know, early years of high school, maybe before then, we learned that if you want to solve a triangle, all you have to do is know two sides and the included angle. And then you can come up with the answers for the other side.
He's right
and
on.
The other two angles that are part of that triangle. So that's what the book is doing. We go into the tables and we give the tables latitude, and it can convert that to co-latitude. We don't have to do it for it. We give the tables declination. Similarly, it will convert it into co-declination. We give the tables this included angle in a different way, however. This interior angle is something that's not used anymore in its raw form in modern celestial navigation site reduction.
Why?
This angle is labeled T for meridian angle. Where T came up with, I don't know. I've lost that thought I can't remember what it was. But T measures the angular distance between the meridian that the body is on and the meridian that we are on, or representing the assumed position. And that is T. What modern celestial theory uses is something called LHA. It's another hour angle. In this case, it's called local hour angle. Local defines where it starts at our meridian, local, and it measures all the way around until it gets to the meridian of the body. And by looking at this, you can see that T plus LHA equals 360 degrees. So LHA is
like
the
the title of the
complement
show.
of T and vice versa, just like we're talking about complements here of our other pieces. So we go into the site reduction tables with the latitude, the LHA, which is a construct of GHA and longitude in a particular way. That's one of the first rules, math rules we'll encounter, very simple. And declination. That way we're giving the tables this side, because we know the latitude of our assumed position. We're giving the tables this side because we know the declination for the precise moment of our site. And we're giving the tables, by giving it LHA, we're giving the tables T. And from there, the tables will solve the rest of the triangle. It'll come up with this side and it only comes up with one angle because it's the only one we need. And when we do that, let's just talk about this side for a moment. It's going to solve this side, but it's going to give it back to us in terms of an altitude. Now that altitude is specific to the assumed position. If we'd been
From the
standing at the assumed
To
position,
the celestial. Or down.
that at that exact moment in time that we took our sight, that would be the altitude that we would have observed with our sextant and recorded at that time. We can take that altitude from this position, this assumed position, and then compare it to what we physically observed, and it's going to be a little bit different more often than not, almost every time. Because we
I think I got the cure for that, dude. Quit using spherical crap. If you just get a direct mark on the celestial and a direct mark on the ground, you're not going to have a problem. But
weren't standing at the assumed position. This is in a made-up position to fit a couple of rules, and it's near where we thought we were. Once we do that, what we're doing essentially is comparing the triangle that exists for the assumed position with the triangle that exists for the DR or someplace close to it where we actually are. So when we have these two altitudes, the altitude for the assumed position, if we've been standing there.
So dead reckoning would be your best bet to start with. So why are we going through any of the other steps? If you dead reckon, find out the location of your time, that's all you need, and the star, you can actually find the longitude and latitude. That's pretty simple. God.
And the altitude we physically recorded, we can mathematically determine very quickly the difference between them in terms of the minutes, typically minutes of altitude, which convert into nautical miles, and then we have a difference between the two. We'll talk more about that later. But what about this interior angle? Well, the only angle we're worried about is the angle that gives us a bearing over to the body. And bearings, as we know, are always measured clockwise from north. They're never measured counterclockwise for compass bearing. So in this case, in every case, the tables are going to solve the interior angle that goes from the pole over to the body. And this angle is labeled Z for azimuth.
Yeah.
And in this, what we're looking for is a true
center point.
compass bearing to the sun. And that is called ZN. Yeah, we keep piling new names onto things. Pretty soon we'll have a long list all the way down the sheet, but by then you'll be well used to it.
Not really.
So the tables are solving for Z, the inside angle of this triangle. Now in this case, north is here. This is a morning sight. The sun is to our east. So that Z is equal to the ZN. We have to look at both of these separately to see how they set up. How about, just as an aside, how about in the afternoon when the sun is over here? Well, we're going to have a triangle that looks like this.
So at
flipped
different
over,
times of
because
the
now the
day,
sun is off
you're
to
going to
our
have to
west.
face a different direction.
In this
Wow.
case, in the afternoon or when a body is to your west, the tables are still going to give us this interior angle called Z, in this case over like this. That's not a compass bearing because we measure compass bearings from north around like this, clockwise. So that
Why does that matter? I don't know.
is the ZN in the case where a body is to your west. So again, it looks like it's a complement because of each other. So they're 360 degrees apart. Added together. The tables give us this side. We need to calculate that side. A very easy calculation. And there's a certain set of rules that go with that as well. But they're published in the book, so you don't have to memorize them. So I just point
Isn't that
that
nice
out
of 'em?
because
Yeah.
tables are always going to give us this interior angle, and in some cases it is not a true compass bearing. You have to do a quick little conversion to get to something you can plot on the chart.
So
The
why didn't you just do a compass bearing east or right to left? Or yeah, God, you wouldn't have that problem. Well, you only do it uh, left to right,
tables are always going to give you
west to east,
this altitude for the assumed position.
clockwise, whatever you want to call it.
Again, it solves co-altitude and then it converts it to altitude.
Not real hard to figure
All
out.
that happens behind the scenes.
Behind what scenes?
So once we have that information, we have enough information to get onto the chart. We're going to come out of the site reduction tables with an altitude that corresponds to what we would have seen at the assumed position. And we're going to come out of the tables with a true compass bearing from our assumed position pointed at the body or at the geographic position of the body. So we've got, from that, we can then compare the altitude we observed and come up with something called the intercept.
Interesting.
Getting ahead of ourselves here.
Why?
And the intercept is nothing more than the difference between the altitude of the triangle associated with the assumed position and the altitude associated with the triangle of wherever we actually were. And the difference between those two is an intercept. And then we can figure out from this position, do we go towards to where our line of position, our great huge circle is crossing our line, or do we go away? And that'll be for another episode. So we'll stop here. When we do a site reduction, it's good to be able to construct this diagram without all the mess on it, of course, because it helps you take a look at what's going on. If the body's to your east, then that clues you into certain things. If the body is to your west, you have to draw it that way and understand that to get to the bearing you're going to use to plot on the chart,
I think you find your direction that way.
at the ZN, you have to do some manipulation. We'll look at this diagram again from time to time, again, just to orient ourselves in the celestial sphere and how that projection of all the information down on Earth and up in the celestial sphere can work together. Again, this is really all you need to know. There's all kinds of ways to draw this, all kinds of ways to look at it, from drawing the horizon and drawing the zenith and angles that move around. But in reality, you just need to know how it's set up and how it works. Later on, if you want to get into drawing more elaborate diagrams, that's something you can do. But for now, this is where we're going to launch from. Every part of this diagram we're going to pick apart in subsequent episodes. In the next episode, we're going to describe how to calculate the local hour angle and the assumed position, because they're paired together. And after that, we're going into the Nautical Almanac to look at how to get GHA and declination, a process that's virtually identical no matter what the body is, sun, stars, moon, planets. There's little twists involved in each one, but the process is very, very similar. And then we'll be looking at how to calculate the intercept after we get into the site reduction tables to get the altitude and the ZN that correspond to what you would have observed if you'd been at the assumed position. So that's 4 different aspects that we're going to take apart, do some problems with, and then move on from there. Finally, we're going to look at the sextant and how do we actually take these sites. We're going to do it on paper. Later on, we'll have an episode out on the rocks, on the beach, or on the boat. We'll see how the weather.
Cool. We get to get a real life experiment where he does all 4 of these sightings with the sextant, and how they're described and how they're actually applied in real life. I hope that's really going to be interesting.
Goes. But each of those pieces need to be examined separately because you need to understand each one before you can move on to the process. And then after a few episodes, we'll put it all together into one problem so you can see how it all works from start to finish. So we'll end this episode here. Appreciate you stopping by. I do have a subscribe button down here in the lower right. You can click and we'll send you alerts for new episodes. Hope to be putting these out every few days as we construct the entire course over several, almost 24 episodes. So thanks for stopping by the Nav Station. Look forward to having you back here again soon.
That was nice of them. Calculating your assumed position. If you're in a hurry, I don't think this is the guy to go to. I think there's probably 2 quick observations you can make. And if you're going further, I think if you get 3 declination points to stars, you can actually find your location on the map. Not really that hard. Oh God, that was fun. I'm pretty sure we can do something better next time. I want to dig through a lot of these tutorials and see if I can get a simpler explanation of how to actually accomplish what you need to accomplish, Oh, good gravy. I was going to dig through and see if anybody put out any new videos recently. I know they're doing a lot of stuff on the ether cosmology, tearing apart a lot of the physics experiments with Nicholson-Morley and stuff. But I'm pretty sure you guys have seen all that crap. Mm-hmm. Is it Michelson-Morley? I don't know. Yeah, it is. That was just weird. Get Bev back on here? Sure. Tell Bev to come on over. We can have another argument and explain how when you're facing the opposite direction, it looks like it's going counterclockwise in the sky. No, I'm not going to be on too much longer. I actually got to work tomorrow. So I've been on 48 minutes, and I've been going on PJs for the last, 5 hours or so. I need to get a hold of a manual myself and actually sit down and draw some of these out. That would be fun, I think. But I was looking at John Levy earlier. He did a thing on the Postal Service. And I think Scott wants to jump on here. He's going to not twirl. Let's see. John Levy. I like his methodical voice. That would put me to sleep. Where is he? Got so many things open. Oh, there it is. It's a deep truth, is what he calls it. Him and his dog out in the desert in Arizona somewhere. I think he's in Utah now. I've worked in Utah. It's fun.
We've discussed it before.
Yeah, let's take it at the beginning.
Pay attention. Take 1. We've discussed it before. Why they say that? Because it's your most valuable currency. You must pay, and you don't want to pay. None of us want to pay. I have heard you have to pay, you should pay with joy. And I do, giving thanks in whatever ways are possible. But why is it so important? Why do most of us not like being told to pay attention? Most of us have to work in some way. We may enjoy our work. Sometimes you want to do other things. And maybe if you didn't have work, you wouldn't want to do those other things. I get it. I'm mixing concrete today. Enjoying it. I love mixing concrete by hand, one 80-pound bag at a time. 80% preparation, like a puzzle, and like a cake. And we think we know what we'd rather do. We'd rather watch YouTube. For some, maybe gardening. And for some, skydiving. Point to some extremes. But what do you really want? Sorry. I think that's why it bothers us. We know what we don't want. The things that others want us to do, things that are acceptable. And I think it's the biggest question. Everything else is a waste of time until you know what you want. Why else have you come here? Some people think this life doesn't matter. As long as they take the knee, everything will be fine.
Nice shot of the cat's ass, though.
And that's fine. That's all you want in this life, is the
Becoming quite a
afterlife. But
cinematographer.
otherwise, for the rest of us, getting clear on what we want is why attention is deemed as a payment. Because if we could use our attention to first determine what that is, and finally to achieve or attain whatever that is, individually or collectively, we would all experience much more joy, in my opinion. Enough ranting. Today we're going to look at a few different things. I thank you for being here. I love you all. God bless and welcome.
And so, when you're asking about my profile pic, you mean the one on the YouTube channel, or the avatar I have? Which I think you're talking about my YouTube channel. So you're talking about the universe, supposedly, from the Big Bang. I think that's the one that you're referencing. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I got one that's for Under the Dome. I stole that one offline. Go to my channel. I'll put it up on screen. Tell me if this is the one you're talking about. It's not letting me pull it up necessarily in my dashboard. Let's see. Night, Mikey. Under the Dome is just under the dome. The celestial thing is what they describe the universe as, supposedly. They drew a grid out and they supposedly lumped all the galaxies they think that are out there in the vast universe. The one I have on my icon now is sick of it all. It says death to all tyrants. People that want to tell you what to do. Oh yeah, that's sick of it all. This one. That, you can read it. It means exactly what it says. It's a band's album cover from New York City. They were a hardcore band back in the 90s. They still are around today. That's what you're talking about? I got you. That's what it means. Do you guys like tyrants? I don't.
Okay, here we are. I love spontaneity, thank God for it. I had a structure for today's video and have thrown it out, and I think that's applicable to everything. But here I want to start off the Ritz-Carlton. Here we are looking at fine state of California, and here we go. The
Hey,
Ritz,
Scott.
you can see there's...
Imagine seeing you on YouTube. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Or,
hear me now?
ooh, ow. All right.
Can you hear me? No? Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Is it
Can you hear
normal?
me?
No, I
Normal?
can't hear you.
As
No,
normal as you
it's normal. I can't
can
hear you. So what are you watching? John Levy?
get. Now, yeah. Logical saying I'm treasonous, I guess, because of the sick of the wall logo I got on my avatar.
What about it? What's wrong? What's
Just
wrong with
Well, it's death to all tyrants. I don't know. Usually, take a look at it. Here you go.
Oh, you mean the
See it?
title?
Yeah, that's why I have it. I don't think
Oh,
any any man should be able to tell his fellow man what to do, how to do it, and where to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I was just talking about that actually. I was like, I don't like people telling me what to do at all, unless you're like God. God can tell me what to do.
Yeah.
If you're not God, then
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I don't need it. Canadian spaceman, he says he can hear you.
We used to have a song. My band, one of my bands, had a song called "Shove It Up Your." It was like, I don't want your opinion. Shove it up your. But the funny part is I was talking about this the other night at band practice, and my lead singer, or no, my bass player, my brother-in-law actually, he was like, "This song goes out to everyone who left earlier and who's leaving right now. Shove it up your." I'm like, he's just making fun of people leaving, like walking out the bar.
You can't take that personal, man. He's got to walk off from it like and laugh. That's funny. Yeah.
It's hilarious. Anyway, go ahead, I guess, with John Levy.
You like him? I know you do.
I do. No, I mean, honestly, I told Boston Ray, I said, listen, you got to turn it on to 1.25 speed because he makes you fall asleep when you listen to him.
Yeah, he is low.
So look, I'm going over here and I'm looking at this right here.
Yeah.
Look, logical observations just said no. I agree.
Yeah, he does. I know he just said treasonous. I thought he was like saying how it was.
Treasonous.
Yeah, well, I'm a good advocate of us making good moral judgments.
Wait, so Schneider said, "Oh, he laughed at himself." I was gonna say, get Bev back on here.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna be seeing Bev for a while. I get what they're saying with the miles per second they're talking about.
What do you mean? What is that part? What is that?
Well, what they do, they take a degree for every mile to the location of the star, right? But they don't have.
And then they say it equals 20. What is it? 24,800 or whatever it is for the radius or the circumference.
Yeah, but that's not. That goes to the equator. That's just half of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So the full measurement, you put that together, you'd actually get what they're measuring from the rim to the center of our Earth. That's all it is. It's really something.
Well, you're with the rim of what? What do you mean?
Well, what like the 80th or the 90th parallel, but they won't let you go past the 60th parallel.
Oh well, yeah, they do. They let crazy people like
yeah, people yelling into cameras, going, "Where are the guns, Nathan?" Well,
where are the guns? Where are the guns?
Where are the guns? Man, yeah. Huh. So I'll put them back on, and I'll put them at. You said what?
1.25. Yeah, 1.25. So it's faster.
Gotcha. So I need.
Dude, so really quick. I was mowing the lawn today with my lawn tractor, whatever. And I was thinking I was skateboarding. I was like, in my mind, I was like, go, because I have pretty much like a quarter pipe, right? Like a hill. And what is it called? It's a blunt to fakie, right? It's blunt to fakie when you, what's it called when you go back on your truck on the tail and then you pop back down fakie? What is that called?
Yeah, I think they call it a blunt now.
That is the blunt to fakie, I think, right?
You're pretending you're doing it while you're.
Yeah, that's when I was on my lawnmower. Like everything I did, like I was like, oh, there's a trick right there.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, in my opinion. In your opinion too, maybe.
Yeah, that would be an interesting way to mow the grass, dude. It would be quick to kill time, I guess. Dude, I mean, when I was young, I cut a lot of grass, dude. That's how I made my money in the summer times.
When you're in middle school?
Yeah, middle school up till almost in high school. And people would pay good money to mow their large acres and stuff. It was fun.
Oh, dude, people did not pay me good money. They paid me like no money, and I would mow their like, normal like what is it, quarter acre? Not even quarter acre, like a tiny eighth of an acre, But they would, because they would be like, well, I'll let you do it for like 15. I'm like, well, I want 20. And they're like, no, I want to do it for 15. And I'm like, okay. And I go in their backyard, and it's like 4 feet tall.
I've been there.
And you know what I mean? And then like I got this little tiny lawnmower that I have to pay back. They gave me a lawnmower in school actually,
They
but I had to pay
gave
it.
you a lawnmower
It was
in school.
what's it called? Home light. Remember the home light?
Yeah, the home lights were actually made in the Carolinas. Actually, is kind of a
Yeah,
weird story.
yeah. But yeah, I
No,
had a little journal.
I'll give you the fun I had when I was younger. There was this old dairy farm. They had converted into like a resident almost. They built a house on it, and they had it like 13 acres, and
Yeah,
they paid me. I told you I made $160 to cut 13 acres of overgrown land. That's the kind of fun
13.
I
So wait, hold on.
had.
13 acres. 13 acres. How much? 100. Yeah,
Hundred and
that's
like
not enough.
six.
That's not enough. I mean, well, back then it was still more, but it should have been
It's the
probably
dead.
what
It's the freaking dead of
400,
summer, man. Yeah.
400 at least, right? Like, yeah.
Yep. My dad had to stop me halfway through because I almost had a heat stroke, dude. He's like, "Son, you look a little flustered. I'm all red and about passed out."
Wait, where were you at?
In Gastonia, actually,
Oh,
right?
Gastonia. Yeah, yeah.
It's a little north of Belmont. There, I think it was a dairy farm that we actually rented that house, and they actually paid me to clean the old dairy pasture out. We had to basically cut it with a lawnmower and weed eaters and stuff. So yeah, it took me all day long to get halfway through that. I think it was like a good 2 days, but I almost had a heat stroke. That's fun.
I mean, I
That's,
believe it, dude. In the summer in freaking Gastonia. Yeah, dude.
yeah,
Totally hot.
the humidity's at like 98%.
I was gonna ask you. Speaking of Gastonia, did I ever ask you about this? Did you know that who else is from Gastonia besides? Remember you said I think it was Eric Church. What's
I don't know.
another lead singer? He's a lead singer for a band that I'm sure you probably love and hate at the same time, like I do. Limp Bizkit.
Limp Biscuits. He's
Fred
from
Durst.
Gastonia. Durst
Yeah,
is from
Fred Durst.
Gastonia.
Yep. hmm
That's not shocking at all. To be honest.
I thought he was from. Well, what's funny is I thought he was from Jacksonville because that's where Stained was from. Jacksonville, actually, I think. Stained and that other band. What's the band? Oh, what the, I'm so bad at names and a mental block. But yeah, I thought they were from there, but he just like signed Stain in Jacksonville. Same kind of place though. I'm pretty sure.
Jacksonville is definitely a deep southern town, dude. Yeah.
It's a shithole. Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah. My
they're not
friend.
making it any better, especially the politicians aren't at all. Remember, Jacksonville was known as a crime capital in Florida for some reason. They got a big prison out there.
Worse than Miami even.
I don't know. Sorry, guys.
Well, I doubt it.
Yeah. No, but everybody likes to point out the flaws in their own community, dude. Seriously.
Oh, Schneider got a nice yard man for free. Still runs good and cuts good.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
All right, let's get back to them. You ready?
It's lawnmower talk on the Rogers show.
Lawnmower talk. My favorite's Troy built. Ride on.
I actually have a Troy build, just a little one, like a handheld or handheld.
Push more. Handheld Troy.
So wait, so first of all, what is he talking about here?
Who is?
What's his name? I'm sorry, the
Logical?
Levi.
He's
Or
talking about.
Levy.
I think he's digging into the history of I think it's a postal service. Like he's
USPS.
yeah. I think it's what he's going to go into. That's what's in the title. I think at the beginning of the description. So.
Dude, it's funny, really, really quick while they're talking about Bev in here. So, I was driving behind this car yesterday or 2 days ago, and it said Team Blev, and I was like, "Wait, does that say Team Bev?" And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Oh, okay, it's not. It's just Blev."
Yeah. Well, the way he actually thinks, you had to bend horizontals to make a globe. Like
Bend
you'll actually
horizontal.
So we came up with bendizontal. for him. That's what's the title. It's
Oh, the old
Bendy's
bendy tonsil, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing as just retarded curvature thing.
Yeah, I know. But
Or like, what's his name? Like, remember, Jaron said, "Well, it's like a bunch of Home Depots." I'm like, "What are you talking about? You just bumped a bunch of Home Depots."
You just put them end to end as far as you can, and you'll get the Earth.
And it's not going to go. It's not going to go into space. No. If you keep it level, it won't go to space for some reason. Come on, guys. Like, what are we talking about?
They're on a ball. That's just all they're talking.
The thing is, I didn't realize, like, when I named myself Scott Level Rome, I didn't realize how, like, important it really was. Like, I was just making up a stupid name, dude, and it's, like, so true. It's about the levelness of things. It's not about flat or it's just so weird. I mean, it is flat, obviously, but
yeah, well, it certainly appears that way constantly on a regular basis. And you take linear measurements on it, and the only thing you declinate from is if you're making measurements to stars and luminaries in the sky. And you just bring those down to the location of them above you, and you bring it down to the Earth, and you find your location. What's so hard about that?
So they think that with a sextant, that, like, your levelness of the sextant is just that little, like, a small portion. Is that what they think? Right?
Well, yeah, it's all locally flat, dude. No matter what part of it you're on.
I'm just saying, though, like, because they think that, like, even though that the baseline is curved, it doesn't matter because
the baseline's never curved.
No, on a globe, I'm saying. Like, obviously, I know that baseline is never curved. I'm saying on their globe, they think a sextant works because it doesn't really matter that much, right? It's like, it's just a little bit.
The whole thing. I mean, it ties horizon. You can go to that next point on the horizon and still see the horizon. You don't ever go below that horizon. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying, though, okay, so use a sextant, right? Let's have 5 people, and they all use sextants in 5 different areas, right? In a big circle, right? So how do they explain the fact that you can't have the same baselines on those on a sphere? Get it?
Yeah. Well, what they do is they say it's an average. So what they do is they take the elevations as they drop in higher, like the sea levels actually change due to tides, and that's basically what you're looking at when you're out at sea. And the tides aren't always out in the deep sea; they're usually just flat across. But they just take that average of high tide and low tide, and they make that seem like a curve to a point, just the height and the level of the sea. But they zero it out at a datum point across the board. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying that sea level, mean sea level, mean sea level. Yes. Yeah.
That's simple. I don't know how you get confused there. It's a level. But what they did is change the definition in a dictionary, and they did geodetic surveying across the board where they actually add a lot into it. Then there's like 3 or 4 different calculations they have to do in the process to get to their sphere. In other words, it's calculated into it, and they use it because they don't have a height to what they're measuring to. The celestials, they don't give it
You can't have a height. Yeah, you don't actually can't measure that.
No.
But you need the other 2 measurements. Like, what's the name of saying linear measurements? It's not linear measurements, dude. It's so stupid.
When you're just doing circumnavigation, you don't have to really worry that much about the elevation of anything. You're dead reckoning from a point, the northern point. And what celestials are
dead reckoning from Polaris, right?
Yeah, and they'll appear to go below the horizon the further the star is away from you. The closer you get to it, it's above you. You don't ever change your level. What they do is they use that arc that apparently goes in the sky, and they take that as a curved angle that you're going over the horizon.
Yeah, anything when a plane flies over you completely level over you, it doesn't matter. It looks arced, but it's not.
No, it's not arced. It's actually flying horizontal, and we got pitch data to show that all day long.
Oh yeah, dude. I was gonna ask. Did you see Glowbusters? Zach does his new show on Saturday. You probably didn't see it, right?
No, I'm not subscribed to Glowbusters anymore.
But
At all.
dude, it was interesting. It wasn't him. It was actually like 5 pilots talking about the flat Earth. It was pretty. I didn't see like half of them. It was pretty cool. You should watch it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I know the
I should.
timestamp. I remember it. It's 1:19.
I have them. I'm subscribed to Glowbusters on Rockfin. That's the only place where I have them on.
You're subbed on Rockfin, but you're not subbed on YouTube. That's weird.
Nope. I paid for premium because I was going to start streaming on Rockfin, but I didn't get the stamp of the approval
You should have.
from the. No,
You should
I had
have.
that.
You should have resubbed them when Jaron like got kicked himself off.
Well,
That's when it got better.
Yeah, I've shown you the groups that are in that genre, man, on that side, and they gotta basically they review your content and then see if you're, entertaining enough to be on Rockfin.
Oh yeah, on Rockfin. Yeah, I know. Mhm.
And it was
Yeah,
Eric Dubay and Glowbusters, Jaronism. I think Austin Whitsitt. They're all in that little group, and that's who you got to compete with.
So, dude, you should really look it up. I mean, you should watch this. It's just only like 30 seconds. It's of pilots.
Okay.
It's really interesting. Just go to Glowbusters.
I can do that now. Hold on, give me a second.
Because like Logical Observations is explaining something, which it's funny when you see this part. They don't fly flat, by the way. They fly nose up, and I know you know this.
Yeah, I know
I know
why.
you-
Though. There's the reason.
They have to stay level. To stay level, you have to pitch. It's a pitch up,
Yeah, that's the way
Because
flight works.
That's the way airplanes work. But it's funny to watch actual pilots actually say it. It's pretty funny, honestly. I thought it was one of the funnier things I've seen lately. And I missed this one. Like I never saw these videos.
Well, Jaren's got a new one out. Crow at 777's one of the groups that are in this genre too. Glowbusters doesn't have a new one out. They're not showing one. But Tinfoil Hat's on there. You got Eric Dubay, Whitsitt gets it. Eric, Eddie Bravo.
Go to Glowbusters Live
I'm going.
on the live. It was just 2 days ago, or no, yesterday.
It's 2 days ago is what it's showing here.
On Saturday, right? Yes. Today's Monday. Okay, my bad. Wait, yeah, right? No, now it's Monday.
Now it's Monday. Okay.
I meant today. I mean, it's 3:00 on Monday. No.
What was the time stamp you had on that thing?
1:19.
1:19. Okay.
1 hour and 19 seconds. Not 1 minute and 19. It's 1 hour and 19.
And for some reason, they're still keeping my subscription going, although I don't have any money in the bank. It's
Really
weird.
You're like on a. Really?
Well, the reason because I was unemployed for almost 4 weeks, and I've been trying to catch everything up. It's taking everything I got just to pay rent bills and just live day to day as it goes. So, like all the extras, I have not been able to throw money at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
lost in time.
Okay.
All right, go to 1:19.
1:19.
1 hour.
1 hour? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This thing's hours long. Huh. Yeah.
1:19. Yeah.
We're almost to 1 now. I've seen most of these people before that I'm with.
Good for you, Roger.
Well, they're always on here. They get the same people for the most part.
What do you mean? He's just doing like look DJ New Moon. How cool is that?
Yeah. Well, DJ New Moon said a couple of things about PJ in particular that's not.
Oh, really? Jeez. DJ Full Moon.
I'm not personally mad at him, but I mean, since I'm associated with PJ and he's basically a friend of mine,
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I felt about. I mean, I don't like people talking crap about other people.
There's a Blacklight. He's on here. Yeah.
Okay, so right after this, go to 1:19.
Almost. I just want to skip it.
Already, the label loaded.
But we've all seen the NASA stuff, right? It took it, 5 miles
118.
this way or whatever, and they
There it
landed.
Is this 1:19?
This is close. Right here.
Waking
Okay,
people
that's fine.
up to the idea that it's all fake.
It's all fake.
But yeah, I don't know. To me, just them being able to open the door from the inside doesn't
He's right.
shout to me that
I agree
couldn't
with him on this.
happened, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can have an
Not
emergency
seeing any type of
latch.
scorch marks on it and stuff like that. That's one
Yeah,
thing.
why would these
It's like,
girls know how to
okay,
open it
what's
right
going
then?
on?
And why would
But I know
anybody try?
that they don't
Dude,
even
yeah,
go up
obviously
as
it's
high as
retarded.
like Alan Shepard and
Yeah.
all them, right? About almost a little over half as
I want to say one other thing, dude. That is not the capsule that went up, dude. Just scale the size. I've seen it compared.
Yeah, remember I said
Yeah.
I told you guys that when I think you were live with Flatsoid even or something, and I was like, dude, I did the measurements actually. I looked at. I mean, if you really look at it, it's funny. It's supposed to be 12 feet. That's not 12 feet. That's about 9 feet, I think, wide. That one right
Yeah.
there. See how
It's
tall?
not the same.
Look, see that? It's not.
It's
And
definitely
if you
a
look
PR stunt, dude.
Of course it is. It's nonsense. It's just psyop. It's a psyop.
Yeah. They want you to keep sending them to space, and they can take that government money and spend it on whatever they want to.
But dude, did you hear though how funny it is that Katy Perry? Nobody's going to her shows now because like everybody thinks she's like a fraud. You heard that,
Well,
right?
No, I haven't. But I don't follow Katy Perry neither.
I mean, I don't either. Obviously, I don't follow Katy Perry either, bro. I'm just saying I heard it. Anyway.
Well, I believe
It's just
100%.
it's just mainstream news.
Yeah. So let's widen that out. See if I can put it in the big screen.
So I loved it when that Gail King lady said, "We took the same trajectory
It's not letting me do it.
as Alan Shepard." So did my bottle
Suppose-
rocket.
Supposedly,
Doesn't mean I
Gail
went as high
King
as Alan Shepard,
is scared of flying, and she went into this thing.
right?
He did.
Just because you take the same trajectory or something, I could throw a
Oh.
rock in the same trajectory. Doesn't mean it
I
has
like
the same
Zach.
amount of fuel.
Zach
and
is
force
actually
and
my
all that,
friend, so
blah, blah, blah,
I really
blah.
like him. He's good.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Zach's a good dude.
Yeah.
Did this
I'm a
happen?
fan.
I don't know. I really don't care. But I think it's funny how it's making more and more people question the idea of space exploration and all this kind of stuff. Yeah,
Just one other thing, dude.
It
That
is
thing does not
interesting.
look. It doesn't look sturdy enough to handle
No,
the pressure changes.
No. I know it's not coming back into I mean, it's not coming through the Van Allen belt or anything, you know.
Yeah.
But you still need because of friction. Because when you free fall, friction will, I mean, it still happens. So.
Yeah, it'll tear things up, dude, pretty quick.
And how funny is
At
it?
that
How
speed.
funny is it, bro? Think about this too, right? It's somehow stabilizes itself and it stays right side up the whole time too. Think about that part.
Yeah,
It stays right side up, dude. How? Like what? Why? Like it's special. It's very special.
Some way to actually steer. Almost, you'd have to have.
You would
some
have
kind
to,
of
yes.
rudder or wing. Yeah.
Or some kind of like a a gyro or something.
Yeah.
A gyro.
But I mean, still, you have to have some way to change the weight proportions from side to side with a gyro. And there's a lot of friction happening at that speed when it's coming down.
Well, first of all, you know how big.
Listen
Listen to me. How big the gyro would have to be? A giant gyro too.
Yeah.
Think about where is it? Think about this, right? People don't even think about these things, bro. It's crazy. Anyway, go ahead. Let's get to the point.
Yeah. All right. What's the point of this?
Sorry, the point is the pilots. Watch right here. Right.
Here's a let's see.
I've seen this guy.
Harper's NRITH. I think I
Did you see
shared
this
one of her
pilot?
things before. This is someone just sharing. I believe this is an older video.
A couple of them were funny. Yeah, you probably saw
Let's
it. But
see. Nighttime
how
by
did
the
they
pool,
make them land
listening
reverse
to the
cowgirl?
frogs,
Serious
traffic
beat.
and such. Very cool.
My new favorite new stuff.
Yeah, going on her truth journey.
I'll tell you the joke in a minute.
Giants in North America. The Vatican and ET. Flat Earth a month ago. I think we covered her a couple weeks ago as well.
No, I don't care about this. This part.
I'm not sure.
What happened? Is this 119?
Yeah, I remember this video.
Now.
Or
See,
the
we're
picture
at,
up here, the Phoenix.
Yeah, we're 120, 121.
Wait, did you skip over it?
But yeah, just someone sharing the stuff. These are the pilots that say that the Earth is flat. Everybody,
the pilots.
I love all these pilots out there.
I think he's doing it now.
Right there.
Fly the little Cessnas and this and that. That can't get even near what the commercial pilots are doing. And they hang out with other pilots that are Cessna pilots and stuff like that. And they'll tell you, I've never met a pilot who says that the Earth is flat. And we've seen so many of these videos, people asking
I know some
the airline
commercial pilots have been
what
grounded
shape
because
the
they were
Earth
flat
is,
earthers.
right?
Too.
So again, there's
really?
a lot more people coming into it right now. This stuff needs to
Just
be
due
shared,
to they say that.
right?
Period.
All this stuff that we saw years ago, and it's not really all that big of a deal to us. We
Hold on.
need
Where
to,
is the part? Where is the
actually,
part where?
let me go back.
I'm
Yeah,
waiting.
this
Wait,
one.
hold on. Wait. Okay, he's gonna.
No, I'll leave a
It-
comment. He's only got 5 in there.
He's going through this like real
Son
time.
of a bitch.
There's
I
more
can't-
down with pilot. I see
We'll
it
do
here.
it live.
To go to the pilot part. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm trying to.
The airline pilots, what
Okay,
shape the Earth
play it,
is,
dude.
right?
Okay,
But
so
again, there's a lot more people coming into it right now. This stuff needs to be shared,
Come on.
right?
Hit the
All
play
this
button.
stuff that we saw years ago, and it's not really all that big of a deal to us. We need to actually, let me go back. Yeah, this
Okay.
one.
He's going to do that again.
I don't
Hold
think-
on. Let's
no.
see. Let's skip forward. Here we go.
Did I
That's
drop
where
that
it
link in
starts.
chat?
Let's try that.
Here, we'll do it again. If we didn't, trying to remember to do this stuff. Okay, here we go.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat. How long have you been flying for?
he knows it's flat.
3 years.
And when you tell people that, do they think you're like crazy or no?
Only one person.
Only one person?
This pilot, from Greece, proves flat Earth. He filmed the sun and the moon at the same time, on a flat horizon.
This is not the one. This is not the one.
It's not?
All right, yeah. That's not even weird, by the way. You know that, right? Like, that's not even weird.
Nope, not anymore, it ain't.
Of the aircraft based on your gyroscope, or you just flying level?
We're just flying level.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, this is funny.
Their nose is probably up about 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Probably at 2.5
See?
degrees. Oh,
2.5 degrees, Roger.
How have they
Yeah,
you guys
that's all you
to
need.
account for
To keep lift.
the ground moving underneath you and the planes coming in at, from different directions? Like if
like in the real planes?
if the Earth is moving from side to side, but you happen to be landing on a strip going north.
Yeah, this girl's confused.
But the wind is going like east to west?
Well, not the wind, the
No,
movement of
just
the
you.
ground underneath you.
She's like, watch.
So you're not, the ground isn't moving that much. And,
She locked up.
and you're traveling at the speed of, we landed about 143 knots. So that's like fast.
Yeah, that's not has nothing to do with it, man.
How funny is that, though?
It
She
is.
has no clue, dude.
It's
Nope.
basically standing
But they'll
still.
have
And
to.
our-
Everything's automated.
Basically standing
Of course it
still.
is.
Yeah.
Look what she's
They
saying,
tell
though.
us, that at least in the U.S., the ground's moving at about 700 miles an hour left to right. And I was thinking that's kind of odd if you're landing going north.
She's brainwashed.
And that, yeah,
You're supposed to
the
say
ground
gravity.
Looks to us like it's standing still.
Yes, sir.
Keep us in the inertial brain.
This guy's funny.
When you descend in the air,
Yeah,
do you dip or do you go straight?
it's straight.
Straight?
A little more with the nose out. That's it.
Like straight.
See,
You don't
again,
dip into the-
again.
Yeah.
Okay,
These are
thank you so
pilots,
much.
dude.
I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome, sir.
Hey, I just want to say thanks for the smooth flight. I have one question. Is there like a specific angle of downward tilt you have to fly at to
3 degrees.
3 degrees for the curvature of the Earth?
That's it.
Earth because
That's it.
No, he's
Yeah, I know. I know. He's like, no.
Kind of going down because
We actually have to go up.
Yep, there you go.
Bro, isn't it funny?
It is.
I mean, it's just for the people out there that haven't heard.
Yeah.
I was reading a
I,
lot of
I got
stuff
one
on
more
flat-
thing to say. What they're saying now is there was some other excuse they were giving for curvature is that they angle it down. There's like 3 different ways you can actually land.
Ryan's confused. That's Zachary Zavala. Good times for all. He thinks. Does he think that he thinks that he's on with us? Hey Zach, how's it going?
No, is that Zach? No, we
Ryan,
got-
that's the new Ryan. That's the new bald guy. We got a new bald guy, Ryan. But we don't need you anymore, Ryan. We got another bald guy, and he's even better.
he's even better.
He's even better at being bald.
Okay, how do you be better at being bald?
I don't know, dude. I just made it up. It's funny. Roll with it.
Roll with it. Oh yeah, Brian's got a challenge for the Globies. He's like, take your measurements from any single point, take off in flight, and actually declinate for the curvature of the Earth. And he gave him a certain latitude, longitude, anywhere you want to pick, but you have to declinate
They can't do
for
that.
the curvature. Yeah.
Or you get 1 Bitcoin.
No, you don't get no Bitcoin. He just says,
No?
if you're going to say you're on a globe, go out and
You get a
prove
pat-
it, dude.
You get a
That's
pat in the
it.
back.
Exactly. And he said, if you don't go out and do it, then shut the
Oh, shut the
Don't say-
bleep.
Yep, shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah, I'll say it.
That's
Yeah,
okay, Roger.
basic.
I'll forgive you.
Oh, thank you.
Using the F word. All right, there's
Yeah.
just like there's a little bit more.
Yeah, I got it.
But dude, isn't it funny though, dude, how they try to say that? I mean, think about it, right? It doesn't make any sense because you'd be going to space then
Oh yeah.
on an SR-71 or on a freaking X. What do they got now? The freaking what's the newest? The F8? No, 21. Was it Raptor or whatever?
The Raptors are just fighter planes, though. I thought. For the
I'm
most
just
part.
saying though, like, okay, just think about it doesn't even matter, or a Concorde, right?
No,
A Concorde
the-
going
Yeah, you would definitely.
1,200. It's like, what was it? 1,200 miles an hour, right? 12 or 1,300, I think.
Mhm.
Something like that, right? Or no, wait, no, maybe it was 8 or 9. What was it? Because it was like a little bit faster. No, it was 1,200.
Well,
So
the
they'd
Blackbird
be in
flies at
space.
What? How fast is it? The Blackbird's in the 20s?
Oh yeah, well the Blackbird did, I think, 900 or something. Yeah, whatever. But either way, I don't care. If you're going 500 and you're going straight or even a little angled up, right? You're angling up. You'd end up being in this thing called space.
You'd be launched
in-
out
in-
higher. Yeah.
in like 5 minutes, right? Or 10 minutes or something.
Yeah. Just due to your speed and
Or half an hour. I mean,
Yeah,
I got to do the math on that one, but I mean, whatever. Eventually, you be in this fake space thing.
yeah. If you don't change your horizontal to declinate down, you would have to gradually go down as you go. Just
Duh.
almost a
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, they don't, but they like to lean on that altimeter, like the pressure from it. That's how
Barometric pressure. Yeah, barometric. Yeah.
But that's straight up from level anyway. You slice it.
That's coming up from sea level. Yeah, because of air pressure changes according to sea level. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you can't have your cake and eat it too, can you? Well,
Yeah, they try. That's what they want, bro. They really do. They want it. They want the fantasy and the truth at the same time. It's like you guys can't have both because your fantasy ain't matching up with the truth, guys.
Yeah.
It ain't working out for it.
The reverse cowboy is my fantasy.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
True. It's true. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
All right.
God bless, brother. All right.
Mhm.
You too.
You're 28.
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, that guy
I
was straight
love
up.
it.
The guy was a straight up flat earther,
Love it.
and that was
Yeah.
it.
That's
All
cool.
right.
All right. Well, enough rock.
This
band.
one, we already did a techno.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach.
I got
Yeah,
it.
Zach. Yeah, we get it, Zach.
Thanks.
I can't believe Ryan was wondering who that guy was. Ryan, that's so funny to me. That's
Well,
perfect.
he's not a big Glowbusters fan, and I
That's okay. You know that Zach wasn't even on Glowbusters until just recently because what's his name died. You know, that's when he took it. That's when he took it over because he lived with him and Cammy. With
Bob. Yeah.
Bob, yeah.
So Bob was a pilot, though, right?
Oh yeah, Chilster. Bob, well, yeah, he was a pilot, but yeah, Chilster Deluxe said, yeah, he always had a beanie. Usually, yeah, he doesn't usually have. I mean, he usually did have a beanie on, always, like. But now he's been rocking the bald head thing.
Yeah, dude, I've been on an hour and a half, so I want to do maybe 15 more minutes. You got anything interesting happening in the music world, right quick? I'm not really that interested in Levy that much in the postal stuff.
No, I mean, I don't. I mean, I thought maybe you had something. What do you got?
I don't know. Anybody putting out new music that you know of?
No, I haven't looked it up, but you can look it up though. It'd be interesting. Maybe see what's the top 5 or 10 Billboard singles of the what do you call it? Hard rock world? What would you call it? Progressive? I mean, I don't even know.
There's so many genres now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what would you consider like what we're into? Like, I don't know, new metal. Like, I mean, what do they say? I don't know.
How about just metal? Period. Let's look at metal.
All right, try that. See who's coming out with new metal. I heard that Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium is out on a tour. I used to like Bullet for My Valentine, was pretty good. That band, like, dude, like some of those that one album, second 2 albums was pretty good. Actually, the first 3 albums.
It's pulling up Metallica when I put in metal for some reason. It's like the top 10 songs of all times. Yeah, I know. Let's just go to the charts. See if there's anything.
The Vandals, huh? Serious B, you like the Vandals, huh? You're a punk rocker.
Yeah, the Vandals are right. And somebody brought up, it was you. You brought up, what was it?
Who?
It was on Flats's when we were on with Andrew, and you brought up a band, and I just thought of the Cro-Mags right away. You were
Cro-Mags, yeah. But no, what did I say? What did I say about
what band did you bring? You brought a band name up. It was.
I don't know. I bring a lot of band names up. Like alternative metal. Yeah, is that a thing? I mean, kind of.
It probably is.
Soundgarden was kind of alternative metal if you think about it.
I actually played Soundgarden tonight. I played.
Which one?
My Wave.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, I like My Wave. Yeah.
Because we were watching Interstellar.
Oh yeah, I was huge freaking Chris Cornell. I mean, everything Chris Cornell did, I kind of liked. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Myself. I'll be right back.
Maybe he killed himself, or maybe he didn't. Wait, you're not going to play a song or something? What are you doing? Leave me here all alone? Yep. I know. What do you guys think? What do you guys like out there? Oh, Lagwagon, yeah, dude, yeah, Lagwagon was awesome. Serious B, yeah, dude. So you should check out my. See, I'm sure you might have heard him play my band. Yeah, Serious B. Do you know who the Dwarves are, or were, and are? You know who that? I think it was the lead singer guitarist. He wore a mask. He was called He Who Shall Not Be Named or whatever. Anyway, he played keyboards on one of my albums.
I know who the Dwarves are. They're from Seattle. They're an alternative rock band out of Seattle.
Yeah, but you know who the guy is, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
He played keyboard. He played keyboard on my album.
Oh, he did? Nice.
Yeah, he played crazy keyboard. That's if you hear my songs, he plays crazy keyboard, and I was like, dude, it's a little loud.
All right, we'll see what the top 10 metal songs are for 2025.
Ministry. Oh yeah, sure.
Let's open this thing up.
I mean, I'm always looking for. Oh yeah, Serious B. You know who a little band called Screeching Weasel is, right? She will say yes. No, but and then right. And what's his name? Ben Weasel sang on my song too.
Less Than Jake.
Yeah, dude, I grew up with Less Than Jake. They were from Gainesville, right down the road from where I grew up.
Florida. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Nice place. Yeah, I like Lagwagon.
Dude, Lagwagon, dude, it was like one of my favorites, dude. NoFX and Lagwagon were like my favorites.
That's who you brought up. I think.
And Bad Religion, by the way, Bad Religion, like you like them. I mean, I used to love freaking Bad Religion. Against the Grain and what do you call it? Suffer, my favorites.
Against the Grain's all right. If I had to pick my favorite album,
Yeah, Suffer to me was the best drumming, the best fast. It was the most upbeat. Go ahead. Sorry.
uh, you ever heard No Control, right? That's the first album I ever grabbed of theirs.
Yeah, No Control is good. I mean, it was just, sometimes I didn't like the slower stuff,
Yeah.
I was more fast stuff,
No, Suffer has some fast songs on it. They got more methodical, and Greg started playing the piano. It got stranger later. Like what's the Maps
Yeah,
Through Hell?
I'm not really into his philosophies bullshit,
Well,
I
I
liked
don't
his.
think he knows, man. Really, he doesn't really get into like the arguments.
Yeah, but
He
I
knows
mean, I'm just
they
not
lead
into I'm not like a poet. I mean, I get his poetry, but it's like I'm not into that whole. It's like almost too California for me or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but he does wax biblical, like in a lot of his songs, like Skyscraper.
yeah, he doesn't believe in God though. I mean, the real God, the God that we believe in. Yeah, Tom Petty was from Gainesville too. Yeah, dude. And dude, Tom Petty was awesome. Tom Petty, I mean, one of the best not good singers ever. Right, Roger? Think about it. He couldn't really sing very well, or even play guitar very well. But the guy was a mastermind with music. As far as
So now you brought that up. You ever heard a song called Inner Logic? No.
Inner Logic by who?
Bad Religion.
Oh, Bad Religion. I mean, I don't, dude. I'm not good at names. So, what's the
I'll
hook?
give it.
Inner Logic. Inner Logic.
There is an Inner Logic.
Oh, what album is it on?
Let's see. It's off Stranger Than Fiction.
Okay, that was when 21st Century Digital, boy, like 1998 or so on MTV. Yep, they got big then.
Yeah. Stranger Than Fiction is actually a good, well-written album, I think.
It might have been, yeah, no, I liked it, but then they started getting a little too boring for me. That's all.
Well, they're still pumping stuff out, dude.
Actually, yeah, I did see a new one, bro. I heard a new song, and it was a new drummer, I think, and it was way faster, or just, I don't know, way better than it was before. But I mean, it's been a while. I've been out of the punk rock game for a little while, for like 10, 12 years, 20 years.
Something strange happened one night when we were in Flagstaff. I missed most of the set, but Greg Graffin, he walked into the Flagstaff Brewery and sat down with his guitar, and he did an open session, and the bartender let him do it.
What did he do? Did he just did like wait, he played guitar?
Yeah.
You're talking about
actually play. Yeah.
Okay, it's like, yeah, but it's like freaking what's the name doing a guitar thing. Like, remember when Eddie Vedder, like, I don't really like that.
Yeah, me neither. You want to hear this song? You might like it. You probably heard it.
Sure. I mean, if it's on, I guarantee you I've heard if it's on any album back in the day.
Yeah. Well, let's see what it's like. You might.
Sure, Roger. Let's hear Bad Religion one more time.
Well, I mean, if nobody plays them, they'll fade away into nothing.
One more time.
Yeah.
Blink 182.
Oh, I got to put the speed back up. I forgot. That was horrible. Playback speed, normal. Should we speed it up? Because I don't think Bad Religion songs are fast enough. What do you think? Nah. Hold your ears.
Automatons with business suits, swinging black boxes, sequestering the blueprints of daily life. Contented free of
Roger, come on.
You don't like it?
This is a hit. No, it's a hit.
Yeah.
They had a video. Oh no, I don't know if they did a video or not.
They didn't make a video.
Yeah, Serious B. Hit pause.
Okay.
Hit pause. So Serious B, dude, seriously, no effects. I've watched the video during the let's call it a pandemic, and they were in the backyard of their Fat Mike's house, right? And
I
he's like,
remember that one.
everyone, yeah, remember that? And he's like, everyone, make sure you're wearing your masks. And he was being serious, like,
Yeah, Fat Mike did say it seriously.
yeah, he wasn't joking. Like, he was like, dude, guys, you got to keep your masks on if we can do it. Like, because I'm sure they made him do it, but still, like, that's not very punk rock of you, freaking retard. And just like Rage Against the Machine too, like they sold it. There's so many bands sold out, bro. Honestly, I'm not surprised, but like it makes me like kind of a little bothered by those kind of people,
Some people
Yeah,
sold
very
out.
very
Exactly.
disappointing. Very disappointing indeed. Go ahead.
What disappointed me with Fat Mike is that he actually knocked one of his fans out on stage. Don't remember
Oh.
that?
Oh yeah, dude. The Skeptic, he said it says Bad Religion is a half pipe punk genre. It is kind of half pipe punk, But remember, like, there's street punk, and then there's half pipe. It's so funny. I never thought of that before, dude. That's so funny, bro. I love that, by the way, Skeptic. This is when like comments are awesome. Go ahead. No, I mean I just love comments sometimes, dude. It's so cool.
I got you. American Jesus. What do you think of that song? You've heard it? By Bad Religion. The
Of
American
course, I've
Jesus?
heard it. Yeah, I've heard it, and I feel like I don't like when people talk about Jesus certain ways. So
Yeah. Well, basically,
I get it. I totally get it. It's just like they're making fun of like the Americanization of religion and the Americanization of Jesus, and I understand that. I'm just saying I still don't like. I just don't like messing with God and Jesus and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't like messing with them either, but I think they were trying to make a statement that Jesus isn't an American thing. It's Christianity. It's where it should be. But I think he does take it back to Christianity necessarily,
Dude,
especially
so
the dogmatic stuff. Yeah.
Sirius B said, and so I noticed this, right? By the way, they have a new album, and I heard the drumming, and I'm like, that drummer is not the same drummer. And Sirius B just said it, that the old Austrian drummer, because he wasn't very good, and he got kicked out, and like the new drummer's way better. He's like, dude, he does like fills, like I'm like that guy can't be the same drummer, I don't think, And apparently I was right.
That's one thing with Bad Religion. They don't do drummers very well neither. They go through a lot of them, man.
They went through a bunch, and that's why I said I like the Suffer. The guy from Suffer, he was pretty good, and I think
Yeah, he's quick, dude. He's fast.
yeah, it was fast. It was speed punk kind of,
Yeah. They've gone through a lot of changes, but I mean, their location has a lot to do with
This
what
guy, whoever was on this album, which album was this? Was on the same. What do you call it, right? Yeah. This album was very well put together. It was obviously recorded well, and the drummer does a good job of staying like pretty consistently in the pocket, and like being really tight. They were very tight on this album.
Oh,
I liked it. It was good.
The quote "Stranger Than Fiction" from who was the writer? Hemingway that actually made that.
Yeah,
popular.
sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah. So
Actually, most of the time, truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, I can almost bet on that. All right, I want to play the rest of this really quick.
All right, go ahead.
Just because I started it.
It is simple and elegant, but it's cruel and antithetic. And there's no effort to reveal Graduated mentor strolling, marbled brick porticos, in sagacious dialogue they despise their average ways. Betraying pomp and discipline, they mold their institution when they practice exclusion on the masses every day. I don't ask questions, don't follow demonstration, don't look for new consensus. No straight for constitution, if I pierce the complexity, I won't find salvation. There's falling over truth on the evil and deception. There is
Yes, religion is bad.
and we're taught to stay far from it.
So Bad Religion, yeah.
It's a good name.
Simulating tyranny. Yeah, this part, that was a good line.
There's a couple of good ones. But the deception and the evil, they don't reveal it.
Dude, he's a wordsmith, man. He's a total wordsmith. He's amazing at words. Oh, I'm just saying, it's like reading a book. It's like you're reading a book when you read his lyrics. Yeah, I love that, man. That's college, man. That's college time for me. So let's play a song that I play drums on, and let's compare. I want Serious B to hear one of my, or anybody that would hear one of my songs, but it's one of my favorite like messages. So go to Chris Barrows, and this time it's just Chris Barrows.
Okay.
And then it's Get What You Give. I don't think we played this before because there's, yeah, we never played this one.
You ever heard of a band called Cryptos before?
Crypto?
No, Cryptosis. And they got a song
Cryptosis?
called-
No, never heard.
These are the new metal. I was on that page where I looked up the top 10. That's one of the top 10 artists.
Oh, a new band or something?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people are still producing music, man. I'm sure they're producing metal music. So.
All right, for the hell of it, though, just play because I love the fact that we got a punk rock lover in here, and I mean, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm not sure. And it's interesting to hear the difference and the similarities in certain certain punk rock bands, you know.
I got you. Hold on.
Especially that I've been in.
It's not pulling up Chris Barrow when I type it in for music.
Chris Barrows, plural.
Barrows.
I mean, like not plural, but like, you know.
With an S.
Chris Barrows.
All right, I'm back to Chris Barrows, like his human
The album.
being.
Yeah, Human Being, and then scroll down to Get What You Give. Get What You Give. And it's funny, we called this the Michael Jackson song because we did, well, you'll hear in the very beginning, it's like a reverse symbol, or like, well, everything's reversed, you know, like you'll hear it, but like, and Chris is like, because we're so like, you know, bare bones, like we didn't do any effects or anything, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, we did a Michael Jackson thing, man. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you just did like a little intro. I'm like, okay. It's so funny.
You did say Get What You Give, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure I got the right one up on.
Yep. Get What You Give.
You're on the drums here, right?
Yes, I'm on the drums here. Yes.
I just love his artwork. I'm telling you, it's just so.
he actually drew that. And he insisted. Look, he insisted on like the most basic font under you know, not capitalized font. Yeah, he's an old school. He's just an old school freaking crazy guy from the '80s, man. He was in a punk band in the '80s called the Pink Lincolns. They were like, I don't know, the Pink Lincolns. You ever heard of them?
Nope.
Yeah, they were kind of an underground, but like still like, you know, like he got. You've seen videos. He gets crazy in the crowd. Like back in the. Think about when he was like 20, dude. He got like crazy. He's like a little midget, and he's like tough as hell, dude. Like he's all leather. I thought he was, because I met him in 1995 at a show one time, and I'm like, the guy's leathery, and he was like 30 back then, and then he was in this band he was like 58 or something. He's old.
Anything like Iggy Pop, man?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, dude. You know how Iggy Pop is all like, yeah, shirtless and leathery. Bro, it's exactly like Iggy Pop, and he would act like Iggy Pop. Totally, yeah, totally. Yeah, good job.
I went to Joshua Tree, and they did a show at the Stagecoach, and you got to see Iggy Pop, and on a small set. It was weird.
Oh, dude, it's really weird, dude. It's really weird, bro. Like this guy was really weird, like just like Iggy Pop, dude.
Yeah. All right. So
Your
we can
Aretha,
play it?
your Aretha Franklin. Yeah. Just play it.
Okay.
For every simple action, there is
You got
a
better timing,
reaction.
I can tell you that.
You can affect your fate.
You can tell the difference though. Like
The future can be
this is like $5,000. No, $2,000 I think for this album.
People do it every day.
It's not bad. But
Interpretive. People get what people
you can hear the
give.
guitar. The guitar's kind of crappy.
Can't escape your past. Look in the
I like what he
glass.
says here though. It's good message.
You are who you
How
are,
about the Aretha Franklin was in the chat?
but you still fool the real you. But you will find out way too soon. It's your choice, make up your mind. Be an asshole or be kind. Got your steam, you got motive. People get what people give.
Hi, Tom. Working up.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
So right here, the guitarist always messed up.
You know what you
Like
did.
he would come in when he came in.
You know
Drums.
what you get.
Drum serious beat.
When everything comes back around, when everything gets upside down, it's your choice to live that way. People do it every day. It's a bit interpretive. People
Back in the day, I
get
could have
what
kept up
people
with you.
give. It's your choice,
man.
make up your mind. Be an asshole or be kind. You got your scheme, you got motive. People get what people give.
You're not afraid of the cymbals, I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, I'm a cymbal hi-hat guy. Yeah. I'm not afraid of. And well, you know what's funny? The guy that recorded that actually recorded. Yeah, remember that was the first song I called in. I said, Roger, play my song. And that was Uniform. And you're like, is it about uniforms? I'm like, no, it's about being a uniform type of person.
Working
But well, it was about like being like, like everyone's like the same. That's what it was about.
Okay.
It wasn't. Yeah. See, he's kind of one of those kind of guys like dual meanings of things, But what was my point? Oh, the guy that produced that album actually produced another album that I did with my metal band, my old metal band, and that he actually. You ever heard of Porcupine Tree? Porcupine Tree. You ever heard of Porcupine Tree, bro?
Oh, bro, I haven't.
Okay, so
No, I
he's one of the best, like really one of the best drummers like ever in that band. So the guy, he was a drummer actually too. So he kind of like dialed in my drums a little bit. Honestly, I don't think my drum sounded very good on that one. My kick sounded kind of weak. And like you said, the cymbals are a little bit hot on that, and the guitar was a little bit weak. But whatever. It sounds, it was for like
it's raw.
1,500.
Let's put
Yeah,
it that way.
it's meant to be raw too. Like it's meant to be old school punk rock. That's what it was. That's what we did. So, and then that's what they wanted, So that's what Chris, Chris was an old man. Chris is like, dude, he's so old now. It's like he's like, what is he like? Maybe 70 now. Crazy.
So
Anyway,
you ever dream about playing CBGB, dude?
CBGB? No, I mean maybe back in the day, like back in the, when everybody played there or something. But no, dude. Honestly, my guitarist from another band of mine, he moved to California, and he's like, Scott, you got to come out here, man. We'll start a band. We'll make it big. And I'm like, I just bought a freaking brand new car, and I was in debt. Like I was like, I can't do it until I sell this car off. And I sold the car off. I mean, I paid the car off, and I realized I'm like, I don't belong in California. Have you talked to me? Do you know who I am, Roger? Like, can you imagine me in California? Like people would be like, you're the worst person in the world. Like, no, obviously not. I'm saying like liberals, like, dude, no, I don't get along with those kind of people. You know, like L.A. Dude, no, dude, I couldn't do it.
Well, I've lived there, so it's not
But
easy.
have you been to
It's different.
CBGBs? Have you been there?
No, I haven't. I know a lot of bands that I grew up listening to. Actually, when they circuited, they always would hit CBGBs. It was like the place.
But yeah, bro, it's so cool. Like my friend, he still lives there. Like he lives in what is it, Venice or whatever it is. And
Well, CBGBs
he,
is in New York, dude.
oh, you're talking about, I'm thinking of, I'm thinking of the California friggin' scene.
That's
Whatever. My bad. Yeah, New York. Oh yeah, I would totally do that. Yeah, New York. Yeah, I belong in New York, dude. What are you talking about here?
we watched
that was bad.
New York last night, dude. Or yeah, the night. Yeah, Jesus.
I'm
that
better
was,
at being the Boston. I'm better at being. Hey, it's Rich from Boston here. Hey,
Are you
Roger,
from
how's it? No, yeah, I'm literally from Lynn, Massachusetts, outside
Wow.
Boston. Yeah, yeah, Boston raised my friend. Yeah, he's cool.
You're not from Boston, though. You're from Florida. Admit it.
I'm from Florida, but I was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. So yeah, there you go, people. You can find me if you want. Good luck.
And nobody's going to come looking for you, Scott, are they?
I doubt it. If they do, I got something. I got a little something for you.
I got a surprise.
I got a little surprise. But yeah, I was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. You know, so that's like, you know, kind of New York-ish. You know, because it's on the border. You know, it's up near you know, Syracuse. Well, not Syracuse, but I mean, it's not far. You know, it's like 45 minutes to over there.
You grew up with a bunch of Yankees, and you basically
No, I didn't. No, that's the thing though. I was 5 when I moved to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much a freaking stupid Tampa area. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater. You know, Clearwater where the freaking Scientologists roam.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, that's so
Wow.
funny. I never taught you about that. I used to skate down there, and that's what we used to do. We used to skate in the Scientology places, and we get kicked out of Scientologists. It's so funny, bro. I never taught you about that.
No, yeah.
It's hilarious.
They have security guards, dude. And I know that
Oh,
people
dude,
have
they
armed
got-
guards. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got real security guards. Yeah, I mean, well nowadays especially, but back then they would just be like, "Oh, you have to leave." I'm like, "Okay," and I used to ask them, "What are you doing?" And they were like, "We're working." And there's like marching. You know, they're marching. They're always walking around. I used to say, "What are you doing?" They're like, "We're working." I'm like, "What is this working? You're walking." Dude, it's so funny, dude. I used to mess with all of them. I'm like, "You guys are robots."
I got a chance to go down to one of their complexes one day in Cali.
What complex? Which one?
They got this. It's just right off the God. What highway was it off of? Southern California. It's outside of Riverside in a little community out there, and they got this compound where they keep their special guests, I guess. And
Oh,
they have a gate.
you're talking
and
about
they
the
got an armed
California.
guard.
You're talking about the California one. Okay, yeah. I'm talking about the Clearwater, because Clearwater is their other like main base. Yeah.
And there's one guy standing by a gate with an AK. Dude, he has an AK-47, and he's dressed in black, got a security tag on it, and he's like, and there's a couple of people who went up there and just asked him, "Why are you here? Why are you guarding this? Or what are you hiding?" They literally just came up with their cell phones and did a YouTube on the spot right there. Just like, so what is Scientology? What are you guys hiding? Why you got armed? Why you got that AK-47 and all this shit, dude?
Yeah, dude, dude, it's nuts. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it's a, you know, a cult scam. It's a gigantic money making cult scam. You know, it's amazing, dude. Honestly, I looked at so much into it because, you know, I lived in Clearwater, like right there, and so like my whole life was like not revolved around it, but like I just knew a lot about it, you know. And I looked
It's right
into
there,
it.
man. It's in your face, dude. Really.
It's weird. It's weird if you think about these kind of things, man. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's like, why me? You know, like Why did I start seeing chemtrails in 2009 and start like freaking out about it? Like, and nobody else did. Nobody else, like nobody. I didn't know anybody. Like I had nobody to talk to.
You have a whole bunch. You have a community now that talk about it constantly.
I mean, yeah, it's almost too much now. To be honest with you. I mean, I love it, dude. I truly do love like the cool people that I've met through the years. But like, I mean, back then it was like nobody.
Yeah. That's one of David Weiss's favorite topics. So you ever notice that? He has
Which
a whole
topic? You mean
chemtrails, weather
Oh.
manipulation. Yeah.
David Weiss? No, he doesn't. He talks about flat Earth. That's all he talks. That's all I hear him talk about.
Dude, go to his channel and you can look it up. He has a whole section on the chemtrail thing.
Well, I'm sure he does. What are you? Are you subscribed to the what do you call it? The Flat Earth Zodiac and blah 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 Zodiac clock app?
Well, I had it, but I don't have it anymore. I got the app on there, but I don't pay for it, man. I
What was
bought
it? To,
I pay,
is it like do
maybe
you have to
like
pay every month to have it, or what is it? How does it work?
I'm trying to remember. The subscription was $3.99 for. I don't remember
$2.99,
how
I
long.
think.
Yeah, no, $3.99.
Oh, $3.99. Okay, big difference.
Yeah, but I mean, if you pay an extra $3, you can get the friend finder.
Yeah, yeah. Then you can find out where your friends are, but they fixed that. Supposedly, they fixed that.
Yeah, and I went to go meet some of these people. Like I'd find friends on their flat earthers, and they want to do meetups, but they only want to do meetups at libraries and odd places at odd times. And I never
Coffee
was
shops?
free to go. And
Coffee shops and libraries.
Just libraries.
It's just like wait. First of all, there's no libraries anymore. There's like 2 libraries in the world now.
Like, internet.
I mean, there are libraries, but nobody even goes there. I mean, believe me, I'm telling you right now. I know it for a fact. Nobody goes to the library anymore.
I haven't
Or
been to
maybe
a
is it?
library in I'd say 10 years. Period.
It might be. Is it getting popular again? Like records? Maybe it's getting popular again, like records.
Maybe. But I mean, I actually went to public libraries because I had to. I worked for a company called Pinnacle Janitorial, and we had all the county
Pinnacle.
accounts.
Wait, is it Pinnacle Janitorial?
Yeah.
Like the best. We're the best. We're the best janitorial business in the world. The pinnacle of being a janitor.
Go to a phone book, look up Pinnacle right now. You'll find there's a Pinnacle.
What are you talking about? Phone book, Roger? I don't have a phone book, dude. There hasn't been a phone book around here in like 15 years.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, back in the day, you'd have to get a phone book. You can look up on your internet. You can dial in. Look up Pinnacle Janitorial or Pinnacle anything. You'll in your town. There's somebody named that, dude. But the company.
A janitor system. It's like teach churches and schools and public places. Yeah.
The thing is, like this company, we built it from the ground up. I spent 8 years working there doing it, a little more than that. But I still have a job there anytime I want to. I was actually a supervisor, and I would run my own team, and we had our own accounts. We took care of stuff, and then I became a floor specialist for like 3 years. So I did all the
floor.
Yeah, flooring, and not just putting floors in. We did a couple of jobs like that. We actually there's a thing called Milligan House in Flagstaff.
I was going to say, do you know, I was a tile guy. I told you that, right?
Yeah. We did at VCT. You know what that is, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we did that in hospitals. Like that was the worst, bro. Dude, let me go ahead. And I'm going to tell you the story. Remind me to tell you about the story about the hospital that I worked in.
Oh, nice. The hospital you work in. Anyway, VCT flooring. We do that in schools for the most part. But you know what Mondo is, right? Mondo flooring.
Mondo, the company.
No, it's actually a type of flooring.
Oh, what's Mondo? I never remember.
What they did back in the 70s is they took like an epoxy compound with I'm guessing cement and rubber, and they mixed it in and they made a rubberized like floor for gyms.
Oh, like yeah. I used to play it. Actually, where I went to college, USF USF had a rubbery floor. Yeah, it was awesome. I liked it because it was easy on your legs, like on your knees, like
it does
soft.
wear out eventually. It does.
Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like concrete, which is good, but it wasn't like wood either. Wood's the best, you know, obviously.
Yeah. And
James Bonda. James Bonda.
James Bond.
James Bonda.
That's a good one. So I actually coated gym floors, like wood gym floors. We did that too. That's a process in itself, dude.
Is it like a spray? Was it a spray?
No.
How do you coat it?
You this is like a lacquer epoxy. You pour out, and it doesn't harden.
Pour
right
it?
away.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to level it out. We have a tool. You push it along the floor. You spread it out and level at the same time.
Oh yeah, isn't it interesting how like self-leveling things actually just make themselves level? Isn't it amazing? They don't curve. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
I noticed that. I
mean,
noticed that.
Yeah, if we're all curving to the center core of an Earth, everything would eventually start curving to the.
Yeah, you know, it's like if my tile wasn't level, it would be like curved. It's weird, dude, and it would be a bad time.
Yeah, I was making good money doing that, dude. I was making almost, I think, $20 an hour back in the early 2000s.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah.
But I did a deal with granite, terrazzo. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, my friend used to call me Scotty Razzle. I'm like, because like I taught him what terrazzo was because he was from Minnesota. He never heard of it. I'm like, dude, it's terrazzo in Florida. You know, everywhere. All the houses have terrazzo, right? And he's like, terrazzle. He called it terrazzle. Terrazzle dazzle.
Yeah, so we would do coating on that.
Yes,
We do
I know
polish.
what terrazzo is. Yes. You have to level that, by the way, too. And if it's not level, it's not good for you because then you got bumps in your house, and like nobody wants that.
Yeah, you when you're walking across the floor, you definitely tell if it's not level. So.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Isn't that funny how you can kind of tell like when you're walking on certain floors that aren't level? Almost as if everything should be level, and if not, you can tell. That's weird.
So we'd even polish concrete with diamond blades, dude. It would had a couple of accounts like that we did. They built a new YMCA in Flagstaff.
Oh, a giant diamond grinder, dude. Don't tempt me with a good time.
Well, the pads we put on are auto scrubbers and side by sides. They just have fins with diamond encrusted blades.
Yeah,
that
that's what I'm saying.
grind.
That's cool.
It grinds to a glass finish, dude.
Yeah, if you want things done right, you use diamonds. By the way, if you want to make a bong out of a glass, things that I've done like that, like using a diamond blade, freaking little cutter. Yeah, I have fun.
It makes for good upskirt stuff if you polish it nice and glass.
And plus, every single freaking tile saw has a diamond blade. You know what I mean? You gotta have diamonds on it.
That's just a pervert in me, dude. I'd be polishing the floor like, dude, if I was walking behind a girl, it'd be easy to like.
What? Look at her skirt, Roger.
Yeah,
you little bastard. You little.
So and so.
Dude, that's so
we had
funny.
An account, it was a high country, what it's called.
Dude, I swear to you though, you just reminded me. I swear to you, in like elementary school, I swear to you, I put like some kind of mirror or something underneath my friend's girlfriend's skirt, and he saw me doing it, and he's like, he wanted to fight. So, what a weird world.
Yeah.
What a weird life.
When you came in, you made mention of one of the comments. It was what's reverse cowboy. It was Igor. He came in. What is the meaning of 360 degrees by 69 1 minute? So I said it's a reverse cowboy.
No, I didn't say that. I mean, he said that, and I didn't ask you that question.
I thought you.
Yeah, I did. Oh, look, fill in the blank.
Well, Sirius B, she said something over on PJ's while we were watching a movie. We were watching Beetlejuice, and somehow or another, reverse.
The original
cowboy.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, no.
Oh, reverse cowboy was. Oh, the new one, the new Beetlejuice.
Yeah. We watched what do you call it, Interstellar, and that was what the comment was made about because when they were blocking the shuttles into the space station they were on.
I forgot all about that movie. I mean, I probably was stoned and drunk when I saw that movie.
I've never seen either one of those two, so we watched them tonight. And she made a comment about something about we were making comments about what gravity was and how they're trying to lock the shuttles in, why it was why the space station was falling and stuff. It was somehow or another.
The space station was falling.
Yeah, it's falling on.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say 360 degrees was like, oh, reverse cowgirl, but I was like, that doesn't make sense. You know?
No, it doesn't. I was just messing with him. He didn't get the meaning of what I was.
First of all, you called him Igor. I think it's
Igor.
Sometimes it's funny to correct people and just make a joke about it.
Yep.
Like, does it matter? Igor, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He wasn't.
You take it personal.
He wasn't I noticed he wasn't blue, so he probably doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, he's a troll, dude. He's been on Mikey's side and a couple other places.
Well, I've noticed though, people love to freaking just ask you about your stupid freaking thumbnail title. Like, it's like, guys, like, Roger has no point really. Usually, well, sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you don't, or sometimes you misspell it. Like, ooh, Roger, you misspelled something. You must be retarded.
I don't know how to spell everything. I'm not retarded. No. Some things aren't spelled like they sound neither. Are they? Think about it. How many words are spelled exactly how they're sound?
It's called the English language. It's a slave language, bro. Oh, by the way, if my mic gets too close to my face, remind me. Last night, people were crying. People were crying about it.
Oh no!
Of course, and I was telling my wife about it. She's like, you're loud no matter what. Anyway, I'm like, I know. So we don't need.
I downloaded all that stuff that Andrew gave us, though, dude. Check it out.
Andrew, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, that was, dude. I did not expect that. I thought you were going live, and then next thing you know, I'm freaking live with you and Andrew B with Flatzoid. I'm like, this is freaking weird. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was cool, honestly. Like, I like Flatzoid, man. I like Andrew B. Like, he's fine. He doesn't believe in God. It's fine. And obviously, I like you. So it was a good time. I liked it.
Speaking of Flatzoid, is he on right now?
Really? That's the other thing I was going to say. Like, he's not usually live that late.
Well,
or early for him,
There's nobody at the house now because the wife.
Oh.
So he's doing 2 shows a day. He's just sitting around waiting.
Wait, where's the kids? Where are the kids at?
They're with mom and grandma.
What are they doing?
Else. They're waiting for.
They're waiting for what?
They're waiting for the midwife to help give birth.
Oh, the new baby. Oh, yeah.
The baby. Yeah.
That's cool.
No.
But so I was thinking about this, and I know you can just Google it, but like, what time is it there? Because I know. It's okay. So Africa is.
It's 8 hours difference.
Yeah. It's 8. Okay, 8. Okay, yeah. Because I was thinking
They're 8
about
hours ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 hours. Yeah, ahead. Yeah. This Gus Mike is nice and loud. Roger is. Well, that's the thing too. Like, and I realized that like, I get it. Like, if I'm overpowering, I don't want to do that. Like, I want you guys to. It's your time to shine. So I don't want that. So I'm gonna try. I mean, Restream is pretty decent. Restream does do a decent job.
Yeah. Well, if he thinks my mic is kind of low, so what I'll do, and I have to.
No, you sound fine to me. That's the thing. I don't know. Like, you sound fine to me.
I don't know what I sound
Murder
like.
Dome. Dude, Serious Beast. I forgot. Yeah, I know. I've seen Serious Beast around. Murder Dome, Andrew, CIA. Yeah, remember he was counting the money in the Murder Dome? I don't even know if you know about this, Roger. It's so.
I have no idea.
Dude, it's freaking. What's his name? What was his name? Serious Beast. What was his name? Grounded Extracts. You know who Grounded Extracts is, right?
I have no idea, dude.
Oh, that's the whole thing. So he made fun of the Melodome because the Melodome. First of all, I was glad because the Melodome freaking character Austin. He used to be called Awesome Austin, right? Awesome Austin, right? Okay, Awesome Austin. But he stole the show. He literally took my friend's show, a Christian Knapp show. Like, he started a show with him, but Christian Knapp was like the main. Christian was like the main. It was like as if I stole your, or like, I wouldn't say me, but let's say Ryan, right? Let's say Ryan stole your show, right? And started calling his own show the Roger Show, right? Like, let's say,
I gotcha. Yeah.
right? He just completely stole it, and nobody cared. And like he literally, like, he didn't steal it per se. He just took it over and then started doing things that be like, no, screw you, bro. You're out of here, like, later. And like nobody cared.
That's
Like,
that's
I mean,
sad.
yeah, and the thing is too, though, is like freaking people like Andrew B was really good friends with Mellow Dome, and they would do these things to raise money for people. And supposedly, I don't know, but supposedly they raised money and they didn't really give the people the money that they raised the money for.
Scam
You know what I'm
people.
saying? Yeah, like
on the
scammers,
grip.
you know,
Yeah.
drifting and stuff
Speaking
like
of
that.
that, my
It's just,
GoFundMe. It's a
oh yeah,
scam.
your
I'm just
GoFundMe.
kidding. It's
Where
not
you
a
at?
scam.
Where you at now? Where you at?
Let's see. I'm looking. It was at 536.
579. 579 now. No, I don't know. I'm
Is
just
it?
guessing. I'm guessing the number.
So
I'm guessing
I'm
the
looking
number.
at.
One,
You're close.
between
It's
between 1 and 600.
536.
536. 536s, huh? 536s.
No,
Mhm.
536.
Yeah, but that means 5 3/6s. That means 5 times the 3 6s, bro.
Okay.
It's gematria. It's gematria.
Jumatria,
Gematria. Yeah.
There's
You
a-
can't say that. You're not allowed.
There's a gentleman by the name of what is his name? Gematria Wombat, who used to come in our chat all the time.
Wombat.
Yeah, and he would just do calculations of whatever we're talking about. He just add up names and stuff and just
And then then next thing you know, you just type it in. You just type it in, and next thing you know, oh, that means 33. That means Illuminati confirmed.
I guess so. Yeah, their numbers.
Roger isn't loud enough for you, Phil. Phil, maybe you got to turn your thing up because I hear Roger loud and clear.
I turned my volume up actually just now. So
Oh, really?
I put the mic volume. I put the mic volume up 10 more degrees. That's why I have to adjust it for each one of the streams I go on because not everybody has the same setup, and some of them have automatic adjustments for mics. So I'm going to ask you about the hospital floors you used to do.
Oh yeah. So, just like really shithole, like a really bad, what do you call it, nursing home, right? Not a regular hospital. So I'm in there. I'm freaking remodeling these bathrooms. We're doing tear out demo, and then we would stay there for like a week, you know, and do demo, and then put back in this horrible flooring, you know. And remember, you know about the cove base, like the rubbery base, that crap too.
Yeah, I know
with
what you're
glue.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So me and my friends were doing in this one wing, and they had it blocked. Like they didn't have it blocked up. They had like 3 people living in the area that we were working on while we were working on 10 units or whatever, right? And every 5 minutes I would hear, "I did a job in my britches." I'm like, what the heck is that guy saying? and then so like he would keep saying it, bro. And then I'll be like, what's he saying? Oh, he's pooping his pants, right? And so he would keep saying it, and he was trying to get the attention of the freaking nurses. And the nurses were like, oh no, he does this all day, every day. I'm like, so I got to listen to this guy say that he did a job in his britches all day long while I'm laying tile.
What they're saying is you're up louder than I am, so I'm going to turn you down a little bit. Let's see.
Turn me down. Yeah. Always turn me down, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna set mine down.
Okay.
See if I can get even.
All right, my mic is away from my face. Am I still loud? Yeah. I know I'm a loud
No,
person.
you're good now. I turned you down. Everything's set good, I think.
Now, is everybody happy now? I hope. Phil?
Yeah, there you go.
Phil?
I already have more cigars than I should.
Yeah. Remember I was like, AI bot is having cigars. All right, yeah, peace out.
Phil's not a bot. Night, Phil, man.
He actually came on, dude. That was cool. I mean, that was awesome. I love that. You gotta appreciate people. You gotta appreciate that, though. Honestly, like coming on, he's all like speaking. The reason, like I told him, like the reason why I thought you were a bot because he was making sense. He was saying things that like sounds like a bot that is like been watching your life. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's been watching us, like and being like, oh, I know what to say. I'm like, oh yeah, prove it then. And they came on. That's better now. Okay, cool. We're
And
balanced.
he proved it. Nice. There you go. Nothing like a good balance, right?
Well, guess what? We're so sick of it all. Sick of it all.
Yeah, I always wonder where they got their name from. But then again, I started dealing with people in society, and I get some of it. You're like, yeah,
Oh,
they're not
what was
always.
it? I just go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just remember something
Good.
funny. So when I
Say
saw
it.
Sick of It All, remember I told you I got the T-shirt. It was the first Warped Tour, right? Remember the first Warped Tour was 95 or 4 or 5 or whatever it was, right?
Yeah, it was early 90s.
And I just remembered Guttermouth. Remember Guttermouth? One of my favorite old school bands. You remember them?
I've heard of them, but I've never really listened to them.
Dude, Guttermouth was so good. I'm sure. I mean, if she's still here, Serious B, Guttermouth, freaking awesome. They started throwing McDonald's cheeseburgers. Like they must have had maybe 100 or 200 or whatever they were. They just threw them in the pit, and so everybody in the pit, we're all in the pit moshing or whatever, just being in the pit, and we're stepping on cheeseburgers, dude. McDonald's cheeseburgers, just flying everywhere. That's what it reminded me of because Sick of It All played too. L7, remember L7? That was the headliner with Sublime. I got the I'm not a fan of L7 at all, but like in Sublime,
Not?
no,
That much choice
L7.
between L7 and Hole. Who would you listen to?
I don't know. It's maybe L7 probably. You're right. I got you. Yeah, Hole. No, thank you.
I heard a good joke about Courtney Love. It's if you ever need to find a needle
Dude,
in
you
a
gotta hear
haystack,
Guttermouth, dude. Honestly,
do I got to hear Guttermouth?
you do.
Like, give
You
me-
do need to hear. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I mean, I know the album, like a good album, but there's so much of it though, dude. Guttermouth was so good. It was just like, oh yeah, everyone's an asshole. Great bit. This is punk rock. It's skate.
Yeah,
it's
I
really
got
skate
it.
music.
They got
The
one called
biggest-
N9, N on 9, an intro. Let's see, Guttermouth.
I don't even know. Is it
Whiskey.
new?
No, I don't think these are new. I just pulled
No.
up Guttermouth to see what they were like. They look just straight up punk. That's all
There's
they are.
like, but dude, the guy's Asian. I knew his like cousin or something, like, or his nephew or something, like in high school.
I'm looking at them now. They may be like half Asian. Like he's a mix.
The lead singer, yes, the lead singer was half Asian. Wait, first band ever played it. Wait, seriously? Cole, a whole cover band. Wow.
They got a
never
cover
heard of-
song called "She's Got the Look."
She's got the look. She's got the look.
Let's take a listen to it right quick. See what they're like.
Really, you're gonna ruin it with playing a cover song by Guttermouth?
Oh, let's see.
All right, sure. Fun, just for fun.
You
Just
can
for
gauge
fun.
their talent, see how good they are.
Nah,
we did a
maybe-
cover song in
maybe.
my first band. We did "Wild Thing." That was our first cover song.
Nice. That's a good song.
Yeah, but we changed the lyrics. It wasn't "Wild Thing." It was "Slutty Thing," and we went
Oh,
through the
that-
whole venereal disease thing in the
Oh
process.
boy.
of the
Oh,
lyrics.
chlamydia and.
I didn't write
Wow,
the song.
thing. Well, she gave me
Slutty
chlamydia.
Thing, you make my. What would you add to that?
Oh, something. Yeah, I don't even want to know.
You make my. You're not gonna try to fill in the blanks there. I'm not gonna say it. I don't. We didn't record that song, so it was a good thing. But we played it. That's our first like get together song. We did.
She likes to read, I like TV. She's checking out my good friend Steve. She likes a beer, I like a shot.
Doesn't sound like the cover though.
She likes the boys in the band. She born and raised in the Strand. When I mention my public, she complains. The message of my life washed down the
I never saw
She
this.
likes to walk.
Neither have I.
It sounds familiar. I mean, obviously because of the song, but
I don't think it's the cover. I think they wrote this.
She likes the boys in the
this is not like.
She's got the look.
Roger played drums too. Serious?
Yeah.
Serious B? Roger's the drummer too. Roger's the drummer too.
I didn't make a profession out of it. I wish I had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not making that much money. I mean, I honestly think about it, dude. I don't know if I'd want to get locked into that world, you know. I wouldn't want to be in that world. I'm kind of happy the way it is.
There's stuff in meat in the pinata, dude.
I guess our eyes will never meet. Mark, please put down the toilet seat.
This is like really bad.
I'd rather
Wow, this is bad.
think I'm a schmuck, she did the boys in the band.
All right, you need to play a good song by them.
Okay, let's see if we got one.
This is early 2000s, right? Yeah, I guarantee this is like 2002.
It was 5 years ago.
There's no way this is 5 years ago.
That's when this was published right here.
No, it says, yeah, that doesn't mean it. Serious B, what do you play? Serious B, what do you play? What instrument do you play?
Does she play something? Huh.
She says she got a gig at the end of the month. I do too, actually. I got a gig next week.
Yeah,
A week.
Yeah,
All right, play a good song by them, though. Honestly, go back to their.
How about Bruce Lee versus the Kiss Army?
No, oh, that might be decent. I forget. Oh, 1, 2, 3 Slam was pretty good too, but that's old. I mean, no, that's old school. It's all old school for me. No,
Terry Yakamoto.
that's old. That's really, really old too. Play. Oh, there you go. And and that album. See the album with the little dolls on it. That album.
Okay.
You should play bass and in keyboard. Yeah, that album's good.
Let's see if I can find that album on their site. Let's see. Save the Planet.
Jeez, why does it seem like you're Google? There you go. There you go. Right there. Yeah. And then you go down to. Let's see. That's good. This is good. You play this one.
Okay. All right.
This is good. Like this. I mean, if you like. I mean, they got a little metal-ish. It's like Lagwagon-ish.
Yeah. They rest on that bass.
But he's got that freaking whiny little voice, you know. But
Yeah,
it's
I
funny
got
though. It's funny though. Sometimes.
Friendly people. They got a black flag tattoo on the doll.
See how they make fun of it.
I got it.
They make fun of people like that.
Ooh. What a rebel.
Those big wine before it's time. Anymore.
No time for self-expression. Key in the closet, man. In the dark. Be a number,
Not a human.
Number 201 reporting for duty, sir.
For duty, sir.
Nobody likes a quitter, man.
It's time.
That wasn't bad. Not too bad of a band, actually.
I mean, yeah, that was like, I mean, when you're what, 18 or 16, 17, like, you know.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Rancid. Were you into Rancid?
I've listened to Rancid. Rancid's done a lot
What?
of things with Bad
you-
Religion. You know, I'm not.
Yeah,
I
of
didn't
course.
follow Rancid. Yeah.
Oh,
Their lead
nice. I love
singer,
Rancid.
He's awesome, actually, for his voice.
Yeah, Tim freaking. Well, yeah, Operation Ivy was before Rancid, of course. Like,
Had a group
but
of
yeah,
friends
and
that
Minor
actually
Threat.
listened to
You know, you liked Minor Threat, right? Minor Threat.
Yeah, Out of Step wasn't a bad album. No, it was pretty decent, but they didn't last as long as I thought they should have.
Well, then they became freaking Fugazi, and Fugazi, that one or two albums was pretty good.
Yeah, Vicky's in. Hey, Vicky.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah. What's up, Biggie? Queen Bee. Roger typing is funny. Anyway, I mean, yeah, you know, it's a blast from the past. There, we're talking, dude. Think about it. Think about it. I graduated high school 30 years ago now. Dude, it's crazy. Freaking old.
I have no good memories from high school, really, to speak of.
Well, you didn't do anything like, let's see.
I played sports somewhat.
Yeah, I was
And,
gonna say. I was thinking about myself playing sports. Yeah, like what sports did you play? I was a golfer, dude. You golf, Roger?
No, I've never played golf. Let's see. I
You
played
never played
basketball,
golf?
soccer.
Yeah, I was a basketball player. Yeah, soccer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was stuck in Catholic school for a long time, so it's like a major thing in Catholic
Oh,
school.
yeah,
Soccer.
yeah. Catholic school. Oh, did you get? I know you probably didn't, but my dad used to always tell me, Scotty, you know they used to hit me on the knuckles with the ruler. I'm like, that's a real thing. He's like, oh, it's a real thing, and it hits you with rulers on your head
When I
and
first
everything else.
the nuns that actually taught us kept rulers on the desk, and if they were like walking around, they'd carry them, dude. And they'd
Yeah, for
watch it.
you, because you're younger, so like they didn't do it as much as they did back in my dad's day. You know, my dad's 80 freaking 3 or 4 or whatever it is. You know, like
I went to a Catholic school in North Carolina. Actually, is the name of it Sacred Heart, and it's in
well,
Belmont.
you know how many Sacred Hearts there are? Oh, there's a dome on it.
No, there's not a dome on it.
I thought you said that. I thought you said there's a dome on it.
It was across from Queens Parish, and that was the church that, and the monastery was behind it, and that's where the nuns came
Mhm.
from. And
Yeah.
it was called the Abbey.
That's where they had
Belmont Abbey.
the nuns are all like waiting to get their gig, like waiting to be the big nun honcho.
You never saw them in public, dude. You rarely
Yeah, of course.
saw them out.
You're not allowed to. Yeah, back in the day. I mean, like they're training in secrecy, or what do you call it, solitude or whatever.
Yeah, they're out there picking berries out in the field. I don't know what they were doing, dude. They weren't out
Who knows?
shopping.
Who knows,
hanging out.
dude? I mean, dude, they're doing nun things, man. Who knows what those nuns do? It's
I have
very
no
secret. Like, who
Never
knows what
asked.
those freaking popes are doing? Or not popes, but the cardinals and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how do we get talking about nuns right now?
I have no idea.
Jo-
dude. It's cool.
Jono, can you tell us how we talked about punished by nuns? LOL. Seriously, how do we get to this point, dude? I'm going to sleep now.
Oh, I was going to ask you. You ever heard Coaster?
Coaster or toaster?
Coaster. It's an album. That's the name.
By who? What album? By what?
No Effects.
Oh, wait, Toast?
Coaster.
No Effects Coaster?
Uh-huh. They have a song on it. It's called.
It must be new then, right? I mean, because I
It's
haven't
not
really...
that new. It's
None sex. Jono, it's called scissoring, I think. But anyway, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah. Coaster. They actually, I think they did a triple rock Triple Shot or whatever the name of that song. You've heard it, right? Triple Shot at the is it Triple Shock at the Triple Rock? There's a
What?
bar I think that
I'm
Mike used to go
confused.
to.
Oh yeah.
You never seen the song? They made a video for it. It's got nuns in it. That's what brought it to mind.
Really?
Yeah, you got to watch the video. Check it out. I'm gonna get off here in about 10 minutes, but I'm gonna go
You
find.
said you said that a half an hour ago, and I know that about you. And my phone's gonna die anyway. But like we can run it for a few more minutes.
Yeah, I'll just do.
I mean, who's even here? I know there's like 3 or 4 in the
There's
chat.
like 8 people watching. Yeah.
It's always 8. It sounds always 8. Seems like every time I ask that.
How do you spell NoFX?
You spell it NOFX.
I think it's double shot.
All capitals.
All capitals. I'm not spelling in capitals, dude.
Yeah, see, so it's funny because like that's more my genre, like because I'm what am I 8 years younger than you or something. So like you would have been into, something more because like it's very childish. Obviously, I totally get it. It's very childish some of the stuff.
This
so
song is completely anti-Catholic. Let's put it that way. You should watch the video.
well, like they have an album called White Trash, 2 Heaves, and a Bean, and they're pretty much making fun of it. Yeah. Actually, I like that album. That album's pretty good.
Yeah. You ever seen The Oldest Hippie in the World? That album? No. They're making fun of
hippie in the world.
Just go look it up. A 2,000-year-old hippie. That's basically how the song goes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was a hippie, man.
Yeah.
Kind of. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. I'm a long-haired freaking hippie. Kind of.
All right, check this video. You'll like it. To a point. They kind of sexualize the nuns, though. I think it was Mike's idea.
Oh yeah. Remind me after this to ask you about Rob Dyrdek.
Okay.
You make it look all old. The drummer's good, man. Drummer's awesome. He's just super tight, dude.
They're turning water into wine.
I mean, they're good musicians. Like the guitarist. Yeah, this is like old school, but it's new. Got a freaking quota.
Drinking quota.
Yeah, drinking quota.
We're still here watching Patty talk, then address, then get out the duct tape. The one question still remains: how much more art can we take? I'll let you know.
Get nice, Serious B.
Medication wears off. My
Yeah.
religion's
Hey,
gone,
Serious.
and this is where I pray. The Church of Alcoholics can break up the congregation. Give us air to breathe through carbonation. We are at Looker Church.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
We're praying that the taps will keep the
It's
holy
okay,
water
whatever, but
flowing. Key kicks of communion.
I just don't like that.
Night of confessions. Coming home afternoon seems to raise a lot of questions. When in Minnesota and you got a drinking quota.
It's like Utah, Utah.
Yeah.
You can't stand up and drink. I'm like, dude, is that it? Or
Yeah, it's almost.
yeah, that's
Crowd
2
surfing.
minutes. That's a perfect 2-minute song.
Yep.
But yeah, dude,
That's the way
when I
they do it.
heard in Utah, you can't stand and drink a beer. I'm like, dude, I'd be screwed because I constantly stand and drink a beer. That's like what I do. I stand. I'm always a stander. You know what I mean? I'm always standing, playing pool or something, and drinking a beer. It's just so funny. Yeah.
You know, Mike, he flips the other way now. So
Who?
Big Mike.
Oh, Fat Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, and he
What do you
goes
mean
on
flip?
cross-dressing.
What other way did he flip? What do you mean? He's
Sexually.
gay now?
He's doing both.
No, dude. The guy has kids.
It doesn't matter. He's still
He's
doing
a
it.
he's a buyer.
He's open about it. Yeah.
Oh
He's open.
jeez, yeah. Too many freaking drugs, dude. Too many freaking weird drugs, man. It's not. Kids, don't do too many weird drugs. Please, just don't do it. I was talking about this tonight, man. I was talking about this. My friend of mine, dude. He did too many weird drugs, and he got weird. And I'm like, dude, this is weird, dude. You're a weirdo now. And I'm not joking. Like I hate to say it, man. I'm like, dude, just don't walk near me, dude. Like get out of here, weirdo.
Get away.
Dude, just stop being gay, people. Please. Jeez.
All right, so I'm gonna shut it down now. It's
All right,
40 after.
shut it.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper. Shut it down.
Get to the chopper. All right,
Get
I'll
to
play
the
out.
chopper.
I'll do Kyoto now since it pulled it up.
What is it? Kyoto?
Yeah, it's off of The Process of Belief. You've heard that album, right? You remember that? That was their 30th
Bad
anniversary
Religion?
album. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like Bad Religion. I mean, The Process of Belief. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Nice,
Well,
cool.
they're making a shot at the extreme pious, and I get it.
The
There's some
extreme
people-
pious? You mean like being pious, like piety?
Yeah, they're like
Like a pope? Like,
yeah. There's people who
Mhm,
think that they're
mhm.
that holy. Their life has no holes or flaws in it. You know?
hey, look, Roger, all you need is just one person like Macho Man Randy Savage coming back from the dead to say great show. And you know what that means? It means a lot to me, Macho Man. And my batteries, it says, oh, you're dying. And it's like, thank you. Good times. Big Pine Sailing. Yes, Big Pine Sailing. Good times.
Good times, let them roll, right? Let the good times roll. Who
Let
sings
the
that
good times roll. That's Cars. Yep. Cars, good band, by the way. Very good band. I like Pie.
song? Have you ever
Pie.
listened to County?
He's like, you talk about piety and piousness. Oh, I like Pie. I
All
like
the above.
Pie. Yeah,
Yeah.
key lime pie. Oh yeah, Big Pine key lime pie. I'm sure you guys got a bunch of that down there. Big Pine key.
Big Pine Key. He is Floridan, right? Big Pine. Are you from Florida?
Dude, Big Pine Key is the biggest key, and yeah, dude, I know a lot about it. That's the thing, but you know, it's hot down there.
Dude, I would love
Hurricanes.
to have a boat and live near a bay. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Roger, you already said goodnight like 5 times, dude. Are you?
I know. I was asking you a question.
Oh
Would
wait,
you like?
sit. What?
Would you like to live near a bay with have their own boat and dock? Right.
Is it on a mountain?
Well, you got to be on a mountain.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I love the
Well,
mountain.
they have lake mountains.
Yeah, there's lakes on mountains, but they're not that big.
Yeah, depends on
see.
where, you know where Lake Wiley is, right?
Wiley.
Yeah, it's it's right over above Mecklenburg County, right? Near
Oh,
Charlotte.
Mecklenburg? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well,
It's a
there's
big lake.
dude, Lake Norman. That's where yeah.
Yeah, I spent a lot of
What is
summers
this?
up in Lake
What is
Norman,
this?
dude.
Yeah, Lake Norman's awesome, dude.
It
It
is.
is beautiful. I love that. Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
not down, sea level. It's more up.
No, it's a Piedmont. That's what they call it.
That's what, yeah. You know what that means? The foot of the mountains.
Yes,
The Piedmont.
been there.
Yep.
All right. Say goodnight, Scott.
Peace, everyone. Good night, Gracie.
Yeah, good night, Gracie. Good night, Scott. Good night, Gracie. Good night, Juno. Good night, Big Pine. Good night, Vicky. Good night, everybody, and whoever else I missed. I'm gonna play
Whoa,
the song
Joe.
and go home.
Whoa,
Whoa,
Joe.
Joe.
Whoa, Joe.
Whoa, Joe. Down, Joe. Down.
Jono.
Jono, man. All right. Night, guys.
And that's it. Peace.
Peace.
Blue
It's losing.
It's a matter of passions.
Nice.
No, not the science fiction kind. It's all about ignorance. And greed and miracles fall blind. The media parading disjointed politics, founded on petrochemical plunder, and we're its hostages. If you stand to reason, you're in the game. The rules may be elusive, but our pieces are the same. And you know if one goes down, we all go down as well. The balance is precarious, as anyone can tell. This world's going to hell. Don't allow this mythological monster to exact its price. Go to now. We can't do nothing. I think someone else will make it right. You might not think it matters now, but what if you were wrong? You might not think there's any wisdom in a fucked up punk rock song. But the way it is cannot persist for long. A brutal sun is rising on a sick horizon. It's in the way we live our lives, exactly like the double edge of a cold familiar knife. And supremacy weighs heavy on the day. It's never really what you own, but what you threw away. And how much did you pay? Don't allow this mythological monster to exact its price.
That's a good one.
Go to now. We can't do nothing and think someone else will make it right. In your dream, you saw a steady state of bounty for eternity. Silent scream, but now the wisdom that sustains us is in full retreat. Watch out! Don't allow this mythological monster isn't worth the risk. Kyoto now. We can't have vision for the future if it can't be fixed. Alien, we need a fresh and new religion to run our lives. Hand in hand, the errant torpor of inaction will be our demise. Oh, Kyoto now.
That was it.
Wait for it.
No, I'm going to close down.
No, I meant wait for the end.
Yeah, that's forever. All right, bye. Guys.